All right, I call the order of this regular scheduled meeting of the 34th City Council for December 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Just to remind everyone in the audience, please silence your cell phones and communications devices as to not disturb the meeting. Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll?
Councilmember Enos.
Here.
Okay.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Here.
Councilmember Abraham.
Here.
Councilmember Paris.
Here.
Councilmember El Sawafi.
Here.
Councilmember Herrick.
Here.
Council President Sereni.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Councilman Paris. Councilman Paris?
Thank you, Council President. At this time, I would like to turn attention to honoring and introducing Pastor Albert LeBlanc from the Hope Lutheran Church, who will deliver tonight's invocation, and I invite all who are able to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we, the residents and community members, may call you by many names. Out of this diversity comes our joint affirmation that there is one steadfast love present with us this day. We, the people who live, work, and or serve in our beloved city of Dearborn and claim this as our community, give thanks to you. You who from ancient times gave your people covenants and ordinances to uphold and further a more prosperous society, we pray for our city council, our mayor, and all city staff, who have gathered as stewards of the public good, having been entrusted with the task of governance. Grant our elected leaders vision and courage to come together for the sake of our shared future, to work for justice, and to build bridges. May their and our rally cry be the vision for a city that cares, shares, and empowers its people on every level. I humbly ask for a hedge of protection to be placed around our first responders. Be their refuge and fortress in times of danger, and let them not become weary of their good work. I offer this prayer in the grounding of your divine purpose, in the confidence of your great love, and held together by the hope that never dies. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father. All right, thank you, Father. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to suspend the rules to offered by Councilman Abraham, supported by Councilman Hammoud. Does anyone have any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. We'll suspend the rules. Mr. Clerk, we'll move forward. Number 5.
Okay, item number 5, resolution by Councilmember Enos, supported unanimously, recognizing the Divine Child Falcons and acknowledging their state championship victory and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Congratulations to the varsity Divine Child football team winning the Michigan High School Division IV State Championship. Divine Child beat Hudsonville United Christian at Ford Field on November 28th with a close game, winning 23-22. This achievement marks Divine Child's first football state championship since 1985, and an extraordinary milestone for the school and a moment of intense pride for the entire city of Dearborn. Those of you that were able to participate or view the parade that took place, was it yesterday? Yesterday. Councilman Enos had brought this forward. And Councilman Enos, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Council President.
Absolutely.
In the storied tradition of Divine Child football, they have won 6 state championships. We have spoken and heard all the accolades about the 6 state championships they just won on November 28th at Ford Field in Detroit in another hard-fought battle, and the great achievements of this Divine Child football team, from the coaches, players, trainers, everyone involved with the football program, and rightfully so. Just a tremendous accomplishment. It was a great high school football game played by both teams who left it all on the gridiron. There was a lot of popping going on that day. Great football game. But I would just like to mention I was even more impressed with how the team conducted themselves while on their journey to a 6th state title. They won with integrity, dignity, respect, and with humility. Tremendous sportsmanship was exhibited by the Divine Child football team, and that is a great example for us all to follow. How they manage themselves is a direct reflection of the culture that's been built over the generations at Divine Child and the leadership that they have from the administration, alumni association, parishioners, student body, parents, and everyone else who is involved with their great institution. Falcon Nation, you have been a tremendous asset to our community, and I'm very proud of the way you represented not only your school, but our great city as well in handling your state title victory. So, to the Divine Child football team and all of Falcon Nation, congratulations on your hard-earned state championship.
Thank you, Councilman Enos. And I can, if I didn't mention, although this is a team sport without question, there's always a few individuals that also get recognition for state, all-state honors. Folks, this is a big deal. All-state honors are not taken lightly. You're competing against, I don't know how many schools throughout the state. And I wanted to make sure we recognized, we have a special citation for them as well. The three players that were all-state, one is Jack Bobbin, is that how you pronounce it? Bobin. Jack Bobin, Chris Hamcock. Did I spell it wrong? Hammock. And I got Marcello Viti. So I got that down too as well. So all three gentlemen made all-state honors in their field, and Marcello, Mr. Viti, actually won Gatorade Player of the Year. It's a big deal, folks. We're very proud in the city of Dearborn for what you have accomplished. And more importantly, I know most of you are at the young age, but one of my coaches is here that coached me in 1990. I can tell you what you have achieved will never leave you. And what you guys have done will always be something that you'll remember, even when you get to my age and older. So a great accomplishment, and it doesn't happen without great coaches, great coaching, great facilities. It's truly a team effort. So I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come here and represent the city of Dearborn. I know you did get a visit from a former Falcon, plays for the Lions now, Hutchison. So it was a great video that we've seen online as well. So I know a lot's going on, and when it all comes down to the end, this will be something that you'll never, ever forget. So we are very, very proud of you. At this time, I'd like the coaching staff to... Absolutely, Mayor. Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you so much. I gave my speech yesterday. I'm not going to repeat the same speech, just in short. Obviously, what you accomplished on the field is great, and what you accomplished off the field and what you will continue to accomplish is even greater. And the character that is obviously emitting from each and every single one of you. I had sat in the back of the pickup truck with Father Bob, and let me tell you, he's got stories about so many of you, which was just so great to hear. Two things. One, we gave you the certificates yesterday. One additional surprise. We got you all challenge coins. We made you challenge coins to recognize the division championship. They arrive in a week, so we order them as quickly as we can, but they'll be here. I showed the coaches the sample yesterday, and they're beautiful. And then secondly, I invited the Fortson coaches to come today. They never showed up. I told them, if you want to see what a championship team looks like, you can come by.
Oh, boy.
I'm a tractor, I can say that. I graduated with Abe. I believe in the spirit of competition, and so congratulations to Divine Child Falcons, and we look forward to the back-to-back championships, God willing, in the years to come.
Absolutely. Kara, I know you're gonna Kara's gonna come down. What I'm asking is the council members to stand up. We're gonna have the coaching staff to come up here with us. And then for the team, if you can start as close to this podium, we're going to get some photos, and then we'll going to hand out the citation right after that to the three All-State players. Sound good? Come on, stand on this side. We're going to give this to the head coach. Come on. If my council members try to push the chairs forward and see if we can get behind the chairs. Have our picture? Yeah, I want you here. I want the other side. Coach Lang, I'm going to have you right up here, and then the rest of you guys slide over.
Let's push the chairs out of the way.
Yeah, the chair is actually like blocking.
Gary's going to present you the photo. We'll try to get you back involved with those guys. Yes, yeah, both sides, definitely. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bob will do that. It's just like blocking us.
We can slide those out, yeah.
Slide behind Jackie's desk.
Make sure I get in it.
You're in it, you're in it.
5, 6.
Come on, look at this. We got here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Can see
Let's go, let's go.
These guys.
Stay humble, guys. Represent us well.
All right. Kara, is that our camera, or is that what
No,
you're
that's
using?
her phone.
iPhone 3.
It's a government issue.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna get the 3 guys. Okay, let's get the council down here with the 3 all-state players. Mayor? Let's get down here with
See, at least we get some fun faces here.
I texted Jackie, but Jackie's not here. I texted her.
With a school program for the kids.
That's nice. Okay, is this mine?
Yes.
Okay.
I was in Houston today.
So do we know who these are from?
See you.
There's no card or anything.
The city is 6:30 or more.
Huh?
Come on, I thought we were giving you flowers.
Well, I saw some back over there that haven't been given to me yet. So unless somebody else is getting it.
Could be for somebody else.
Do I get flowers and I leave?
Probably. Are you leaving? When will that be?
I don't know, that would be,
All right. All right, thank you we wanted to make sure we got that in and out for the team. We are now still under the suspended rules, Mr. Clerk. We're going to move to number 4.
Okay. Item number 4, resolution by Councilmembers Smoot and Karas, recognizing Horizon Imaging and its Chief Operating Officer, Abira Mahana, for delivering
Mike, turn on.
Have you got me?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
For delivering mobile cardiovascular imaging services to the Dearborn community and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We want to extend recognition to Kozan, is that how you pronounce it? Corzo. Imaging by Ms. Abir Mahana, Chief Operating Officer, for delivering this mobile cardiovascular imaging services to our community in the city of Dearborn. Your commitment to providing high-quality, patient-centered care and accessibility to outpatient setting in an outpatient setting has truly elevated the standard of service for our residents. By bringing this advanced cardiovascular imaging directly to patients, you have removed the barriers of care, improved early detection, and ensured that residents receive timely, accurate diagnosis in the environment built on comfort and trust. Your team's professionalism and dedication to represent your organization and to modernize the outpatient care is exemplary. I can tell you for folks that not sure what's going on here, Miss Abir Mahana, if you'd like to step forward, but we're going to come down here and give you the citation, had approached the council maybe 2 years ago? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. For me, God rest my father and sister, both were lost due to cardiovascular issues. And it is all about detection, folks. I mean, you can't go from zero to clogged overnight. Not that I know. I'm not a doctor, though. A medical doctor, no. So the fact that these imaging centers have an opportunity to put dye through your heart, which I've had. I visited her center myself as a patient. My mom, I hope she was able to visit the center as well. This imaging center was brought forward as a zoning request to allow it to be attached to a medical office in Dearborn on Monroe. Monroe or Mason? Mason, on Mason. I get those two confused. So that we could make sure that our residents could get these early diagnoses has paid dividends. So for me, I knew right away when we had this come forward that it was a need. But Abir, if you'd like to step forward, just so the residents know, and you could to the microphone, and then we're going to come down after. If you could just give them an idea. I gave them the high-level imaging. You could give them a better.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yes, good evening. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in the city of Dearborn. Of course, it is incredibly an honor for us to serve this community. It was our second location of bringing up, first in the state of Michigan, outpatient coronary CTA with FFR, which is an AI analysis that gives you early detection of heart disease before you even have symptoms.
Wow.
And now we're in 9 cities across Southeast Michigan, 2 more coming up on board in Canton, mid-Michigan, first quarter next year. And the ask has been to continue to expand our services across the communities we serve in Michigan. So definitely a proactive process or flow to get to see heart disease in early stages, be able to mimic that with aggressive medical therapy before it becomes a heart attack and causes any negative outcomes. So proud to be part of Dearborn and being able to serve this community with this advanced testing. We're actually rated in the last association with coronary CTA, CCT committee to be in terms of our volume to UCLA and General Mass in Massachusetts. So it's like huge to the services that we're doing.
Yeah, that's a tremendous
Over
volume.
15,000 patients we've scanned so far. I did bring a brochure as awareness to know to ask your doctor if you have any of those symptoms or risk, to really ask about coronary CTA if it's something that you would benefit from.
Abir, I can't thank you enough. I know our chief is here. I'd like to give him the microphone. Chief?
Council Issa Shaheen, Police Chief. I wasn't aware that Abir was going to be getting an award today, and I wasn't prepared to speak on it, but
Okay.
I feel compelled to come up and just say a few words because she's such a humble person. Maybe 2 years ago, she offered CT scans for all first responders in the city of Dearborn, so all the police officers and firefighters at no charge. And then we all know that heart disease affects everyone, but it disproportionately affects first responders. And it was eye-opening for me personally and for some of my officers so they could get early detection, and we're very grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you for that.
Chief.
Yeah, we were unaware of that.
Thank you.
We
Really humble. Thank you.
really appreciate the work. And to be at that level of volume, to think that we didn't have it or didn't have access to it is incredible. So, yeah.
I know. I was actually surprised myself when I heard that through this association that they're rating core zone imaging in Michigan, Southeast Michigan, to be at that level. I'm like, it's every day saving lives, and it's not
right.
something that we're doing for volume. It's these 40-year-old with minimal symptoms, with
Yep.
significant disease that you never thought you would have, because you're finding it with soft plaque, which is the early finding of the development of that disease in your heart, and being able to treat it and save lives down the road. So it's definitely very rewarding place that I'm in today in my life and my career that I'm able to specifically offer in our community. So
And we thank you. We're going to come down, the
Thank
council
you.
come down and make sure we have your husband and
yeah.
here to get a photo. Okay, Mayor? Jay, Kara.
I did bring a brochure. I don't know if anyone's interested to learn more about it, so I will hand it to.
Yeah, we'll put it in the council office. Okay.
I still remember 2 years ago.
Thank you so much.
All right. Excellent. Any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached for number 4.
Okay.
Number 5, I don't know if we read it into the record, so number 5, I know you read it into the record, but any
Yep.
objection to unanimous roll on Von Child? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. And last but not least, most importantly, let's bring forward number 34. You have that one?
Let's do it.
All right.
This is a resolution by Council President Sereni, supported unanimously, acknowledging President Pro Tem Leslie Herrick in grateful recognition of her 8 years of dedicated public service and her unwavering commitment to responsible government and to the people of Dearborn, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. It's my honor to bring this forward. It's hard to keep a surprise around the city of Dearborn, folks, but we tried to do the best we can.
You managed.
We did? Okay. Tonight, we'd like to mark Councilwoman Herrick, Council President Pro Temp Leslie Herrick's final meeting at the 34th Dearborn City Council. I want to take a moment to recognize her 8 years of dedicated service to our community. Leslie has brought a genuine love to the city council table. She has always had a commitment to listening to residents, strengthening city services, working in collaborative to move our city forward. Her voice and her experience has made an impact. Leslie, I want to thank you for your contribution, your advocacy, and your countless hours of devoted to making Dearborn a better place. We are grateful for your time, your energy, and your heart that you've given to the city so much. On behalf of the City Council, I'd like to wish you the very best on your future endeavors and nothing less than success and happiness in the years to come. Thank you, Leslie, for your service.
Thank you.
I want to leave you.
trying to hold it together
I
here.
know, we have a tribute that we want to play. We have some flowers that we gave you. We're going to get a nice photo, but I didn't know if you wanted to say anything before we played the video.
Well, I want to say something,
Go
but I
ahead.
don't know the best time to say it. So
Well,
I'm trying to hold it together
If
up
you're,
here.
yeah, I know.
I guess
So let's
this-
do
I
it
guess this
before
is
then you see the
appropriate.
video, because then you'll really
We'll have him.
make it worse.
Yeah,
So go
okay, it's
ahead.
gonna make it worse.
Councilwoman, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, absolutely, Mayor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mike.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
Mike the mic.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a few more minutes, Leslie. We've been working alongside one another, 9 years now. When I was in the State House, all the way down to the mayorship. So I got 8 years, and even before then. And your passion on all issues Dearborn is unmatched. You're at every event, every function, in every corner of the city. Your presence is recognized by immediately when you walk into the room. Everybody knows you walk in with a warm smile. You embrace everyone as if they are close family and friends. And I think that's what people love most about you. And your openness to hear any and all concerns, any and all issues, and try to work together to come up with the best possible solution to move the city forward. And I think for that, so many of us are grateful, myself as mayor, but myself also as Abdullah, another resident in the city. We are grateful for your contributions to help moving city forward. And mostly, I think, within the space of the arts. And I know that work, God willing, will never end. Will continue to be pushed and embracing more and more within our community to celebrate the arts in every aspect and in all ways. And look forward to that partnership. But congratulations on quite the tenure on City Council. And I look forward to all that you have yet to accomplish as well. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I know I have our state rep here, my former council president pro temp as well, Ms. Burns. So I know you wanted to come forward. We're going to give you the tribute, but I thought you wanted to make a couple of statements as well. Please come forward. Absolutely.
Thank you, Council President Sereni. Good evening, council members, Mayor Hamoud, and Clerk Delaney. Happy to be here with all of you tonight. Leslie, I'm going to try not to cry. I know you're already tearing up. From one pro tem to another, I just want to thank you so much for your 8 years of service on City Council, but we all know that your service and commitment to the city started long before you ever ran for office. You and I both ran together for the first time back in 2017, almost 10 years ago. It's hard to imagine, but looking back on the time that we've served together and what you've done since then, I'm really proud to have worked alongside you because I got to see firsthand in countless meetings how much you cared, how closely you paid attention, how you listened to folks, and how you really sought out solutions to some of the city's most pressing issues. And you've done that because you care. And as Mayor Hamoud said, you really are what Dearborn is all about. And I know that you've done this work because you care so deeply and so genuinely about our city and about every single person who calls Dearborn home. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your many years of service on council and even before that time. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. But I know that no matter where you go next or what comes next for you, Dearborn will always be at the core of who you are and what you do. So I wanted to present this State of Michigan tribute to you tonight. It's signed by myself, my colleague in the State House, Representative Farhat, our State Senator Sylvia Santana, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, and of course our Governor Gretchen Whitmer. So we just wanted to honor you with this, and I think the council has some other things maybe in store, so I'll hold on to this if that makes sense.
It's perfect. I think we'll have Councilwoman Herrick go next, and then what we'll do, we'll have you come forward once we present.
Sounds good.
Thank
you all
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay.
Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Aaron. I tried to prepare for this, but so I'm going to read because otherwise I'll forget something. And there's just so many things that I want to say. So many thoughts have been going through my head. But it's been my life's greatest honor to have been entrusted by the voters of Dearborn to serve the past 8 years on Dearborn City Council. In those years, I've worked with outstanding colleagues who have served with professionalism, integrity, and mutual respect for each other. In particular, I'd like to thank the Dean of the Council, Bob Abraham, I had the good fortune of sitting next to Bob during my first 4 years on Dearborn City Council. And believe it or not, in my first months on council, I didn't actually speak very often, and I'm kind of not known for being quiet now. Council president will tell you that. But I was listening and learning from everyone, but especially from Councilman Abraham and Councilman David Bazey, who served that first term that I was on council. I'm immensely grateful for Bob and sharing his wisdom and encouragement as I grew in my role. Those first 4 years, I also served with Brian O'Donnell, who continues his work in the corporate world, and Council President Susan DeBaja and Aaron Burns, who I'm thrilled both continue to serve the public in very meaningful positions. I'm happy for both of them, but certainly have missed their presence on council. Over the past 4 years, I've appreciated the changes that President Mike Serini has brought to better serve the residents of Dearborn, streamline efficiency, and raise the professional image of City Council. As a communications professional myself, I appreciate that Mike agrees the most effective way to make sure that every resident in the city receives critical information is by sending them mail right to them in their homes. So I was happy to support when he recommended introducing the Council Connections newsletter that is now mailed out twice a year to every resident. And just last year, we added mailing the calendar to every resident again at their homes, both providing very valuable information to homeowners and anyone who lives here in Dearborn. For efficiency and convenience in the past 4 years, we implemented using a consent agenda and, importantly, offering residents the opportunity to make public comments at both the beginning as well as the end of our meetings. And I've appreciated over the past few years, I've appreciated getting to know and work with our newer council members, Kamal Al-Sawafi, Ken Paris, Mustafa Hamoud, and Gary Enos. They each bring different experience and interests and personalities to council, but share a mutual dedication to making sure Dearborn is the best it can be today and taking action to plan for the future of our city. Looking back at some of our most impactful accomplishments, of course, what first comes to mind is the most visible changes under the leadership of Mayor Abdullah Hamoud. His energy, optimism, and vision are evident in the effective use of grant money and funds from various government sources that enabled Dearborn to build innovative new gathering spaces in our city in the form of the first of their kind innovative peace parks. These spaces are now a role model that other cities aspire to build. And the Peace Parks were built at the same time we installed new inclusive playscapes in 3 existing parks, as well as replacing aging equipment in many of our older parks. There have been many other innovative programs and resources made available to residents and businesses over the past 4 years. Of course, that's to be expected, but think about this. How much we've accomplished as we came out of the historic pandemic that shut the world down and isolated us for months. And it forced everyone to learn how to do business in new and innovative ways to maintain our relationships and get business done. I also wanted to mention a couple of the issues that we've tackled to seriously improve quality of life for Dearborn residents. I'm proud to have worked with council, first with Mayor O'Reilly in my first term, and then Mayor Hamoud, to reduce the impact of pollution in our city by working with businesses to do things like changing the routes driven by trucks and penalizing corporate polluters, or funding small grants to help businesses improve their storefronts and homeowners replace dangerous front porches. In addition to thanking my colleagues on council and Mayor Hamoud, I'm grateful to the dedication and professionalism of all the city employees who serve our residents and our businesses in our city every day. We have an outstanding staff right now and just incredible department heads working together with Mayor Hamoud and the city council, improving services, providing services every day, but also looking to the future of our city as it continues to grow and change. It's been a pleasure to work with you in this role, and previously, I'm talking to the city employees in this case, when I was working with you in the Department of Public Information long before I was elected to serve on city council. And thank you to the hundreds of residents who are involved in our many service organizations and neighborhood associations. A number of them are here this evening because of one of the things on our agenda later tonight. We're passing our historic district ordinance after much work by city neighborhood association and various residents and the city council. And this is something that I've been looking forward to for many years. I live in a historic neighborhood myself, and I know that the people that move to these neighborhoods, whether it's Springwells Park or Ford Homes Historic District, or Dearborn Hills, and even the individual residences in other neighborhoods, like the Morley area neighborhood. People buy these homes because they want to raise their families here or be a part of a community that's unique and different than they would find anywhere else. And this new ordinance is going to help to give us opportunity to put in place measures to preserve that part of the fabric of our community. Most meaningful to me is the residents from one end of our city to the other, north to south, east to west, who know that they can call me when they need a hand. There are not enough words to express how meaningful it is to know that you can help better a life for an individual or their family. Thank you for that opportunity to make that kind of a difference in people's lives. Although I won't be sitting here in the council chambers after this week, my commitment to our city remains strong, and the people, and to both the city and the people who live here and the people who work here or come to visit or go to school here. I'm continuing my work with the Intercultural Community Center in Dearborn and volunteering with the Rotary Club of Dearborn and our many service organizations. When our city is challenged, I'm so proud of us that we stand united. No matter where our families come from, our religious affiliations, whether we have one or none, or the streets we live on, we are a city of diverse people who live and work peacefully together. And I will do everything that I can to continue that tradition here in Dearborn going forward. Most meaningful is the relationships I've built, knowing that the resident, I'm continuing my work, and I look forward to continuing to serve the residents of Dearborn in these and other roles yet to be determined. You can still call me. I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
We do have a tribute. We're going to get some more applause, but I want you to watch the video. Is it ready? CDTV? Okay. There you go.
Leslie Herrick came onto the council just a term after myself, so I've had the pleasure of working with her for about 8 years. Leslie, I really appreciated the partnership of working with her, and also the element that she brought to the city council I thought was very important. She was available to go to activities, events throughout the city, and then she also made sure she brought that back and let the residents know during the council meeting what was going on, what city was doing, and what they could do for the weekend or what events were happening. So I really appreciated Leslie and look forward to the future.
Leslie Herrick, you've been a dedicated leader, a steady voice, and a true public servant. Thank you, Leslie, for all your hard work, your kindness, and your dedication to the people of Dearborn. Your impact will be felt for years to come, and we're grateful for everything that you have done, and we're looking forward to seeing you succeed in your next chapter.
I am privileged today to say a few words about Leslie Herrick. You know, she's got a background, and whenever you run for council, you have to be involved in the community and know your community, know your constituents, know where the problems are. And Leslie fulfills all that and the obligations that go along with serving on city council. And she is firmly entrenched within the community that she serves. She loves this community, will continue to live and serve in this community in whatever capacity may come her way. This and foremost, from the heart, is Leslie, thank you for your service to the city of Dearborn, and especially with me, alongside of you, service with the Dearborn City Council. Thank you.
I have proudly served with Council President Pro Tem Leslie Herrick on the Dearborn City Council for 8 years. Leslie's done a phenomenal job of representing the people of Dearborn. She's been very active in the community and has been in touch with the heartbeat and the pulse of all the people that make Dearborn a great place to live and work. Leslie has always been deeply engaged with all the residents of Dearborn, and although she is departing from the City Council, I'm very confident she'll remain fully engaged and an asset and an ambassador to our community for the years to come.
I want to take a moment to thank Councilwoman Herrick for her years of service to the residents of Dearborn while serving on the Dearborn City Council. Her level-headedness and her ability to build consensus among the members has always been appreciated. And I always appreciate her perspectives on arts and culture and her passions for helping move the city forward. That spirit has always kept our work focused on what's best for residents. Thank you, Councilwoman Herrick, for your professionalism and your dedication to serving the residents of Dearborn, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Leslie, as you wrap up your service on the Dearborn City Council, I want to thank you for your leadership, professionalism, and heart you've brought to this community over the past 8 years. Thank you for your years of service and for your unwavering love for Dearborn. We're grateful for everything you've done, and we know you'll continue to work and make a difference in this community for many years to come. It's been proud to serve with you the past 3 years, and I'm even more proud to call you my friend, Leslie. Thank you very much.
All right. So now we're going to have Leslie and State Rep Burns come forward. We're going to go ahead and give her her plaques. Thank you. She's got one. You got the flowers? Yeah. Those are ours.
I have a secret admirer.
You want me to leave them? Leave them?
I leave these up here.
I thought they were for me initially. All right. So we did get her a bouquet of flowers from the council, but we're not sure who these are from. Secret of, oh, okay.
Emma G.
From Emma G?
Oh, they're from Emma.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much.
My secret admirer.
Unanimous roll shall be attached. All right, next item.
Okay, we're going to move back to item number 6, which is public comment at 7:43.
No, hang on, I'm sorry. The council we didn't want. Yeah, if there's anyone, is there anyone else from the public that had anything to say? Because we had the councils do the tributes on, for that as well. All right,
No resident
next item.
Okay.
Item 6 is public comment.
Okay, at this time, Mr. Clerk, we have 7:45.
Okay.
All right, so the council rules were enacted this term to allow up to 30 minutes of public comment prior to our business items to better serve our residents. If anyone in the public would like to address the council, you may fill out a public comment card. They're on either side of the rooms, or just be recognized by myself and we'll have you come forward. Kind reminder, there's a 3-minute limitation, and you will receive a 30-second warning when this comes to the end by our clerk. So we do have a few cards right now. We have Mr. Larry Jackson.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Larry Jackson, lifetime Dearborn resident, retired city worker. I'd like to talk to you about a program called Hometown Heroes. My wife and I recently returned from Virginia, and as we passed through many southern towns, what a sight to see. All along their main drags, beautiful banners hanging, pictures of their veterans with a brief synopsis of their military service. It was outstanding, heartwarming thing to see. I know Frankenmuth does this, I know Belleville does this, and I know they do it at the Lions football games. I myself, I'm not a veteran, but I was here during Vietnam. We lost 69 kids per capita. We had one of the highest death rates in the country. I went to too many damn funerals. The guys who came home, they weren't honored. They were vilified. What a great way to say welcome home. But this isn't just about past veterans. It's about veterans serving now. Council President Sereni, your brother, I found out 29 years naval veteran, commands a ship. Love to see him honored. Yeah. Councilman El Sawafi, you're a captain in the 37th Infantry Division. They were a kick-ass division in World War II. It'd be a great way to honor you up here for your service to this city and also to your country. Now, I know this is going to cost some money, but I believe that the business community will get involved in this. I'm sure that some of the other groups will get involved with it. I'm supposed to speak to a veterans group, but one thing I do know, I will pay to honor my father's service in World War II. I've talked to numerous other people who say the same thing. They'd be glad to do this. One other thing, from what I understand, this thing snowballs. Once it gets going, more people are going to want to look into it, honor their loved ones. There's people who live outside the city now, but their relatives were here. I'm sure they'll return to the city. When they're here, they're going to eat. They're going to put gas in their car. They're going to shop. It would be good for our business community. There's no doubt in my mind about this. To sum up, this is a winning situation here. This is a winning situation for this council, for this administration, for this city, for the business community, but most important, it is a winner for our veterans.
You have 30
I'm
seconds.
asking you all to please make this a happening. I've given you photos of what it looked like at downtown Louisa. Please look into this, and thank you for your time, your attention, and your courtesy in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for bringing that forward, Mr. Jackson. Next, we have Nathan. Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Kogelschatz, and I've prepared a speech.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of Dearborn, I wanted to come here today on behalf of Michigan's Christians and other non-Muslims. We all know that in recent times, non-Muslims have come to Dearborn to at best raise their concerns and at worst to spew hate and division. I want to tell you loud and clear, these hate mongers do not represent Michiganders and certainly do not represent Christians. People of Dearborn, my brothers and sisters, as we stand here wondering if peace will last between Muslims and Christians in America, Muslims and Christians are dying side by side in Palestine. This reality is undeniable. Whether we choose to accept it or not, we are together in this struggle for peace, justice, and human rights. As Christians and Muslims alike, We await for the return of Jesus to triumph over evil once and for all. But until that day comes, the actions we take now and the choices we make truly matter and are of the utmost importance. Let us not be fooled by the forces of evil, but let us stand as one in defiance to it. Let us stand together and proclaim that the forces of evil have no legitimacy and that the genocidal apartheid regime in Israel has no legitimacy. The will of God shall prevail. Palestine will be free. God bless you, and may peace be upon us all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Andrea Unger.
Hello, Andrea Unger.
Ms. Unger, I'm sorry, you cannot, Ms. Unger.
I'll
Ms.
turn it
Unger,
off.
we cannot, you cannot play any props in the council chambers.
Not a prop. The noise ordinance of the City of Dearborn, Section 1343 states, "It shall be unlawful to create, assist in creating, permit, continue, or permit the continuance of any unreasonably loud, disturbing, unusual, or unnecessary noise, which annoys, disturbs, injures, or endangers the comfort, repose, health, peace, or safety of others within the limits of the city." The exemption to the noise ordinance, Section 1346, states the applicant has demonstrated that no reasonable alternative is available which would permit compliance with the noise restriction of this article. I've already documented to you that there is a Muslim app, there are texts, and also written notifications that would negate any exemption. Our council members have been asked twice now within the last 8 years to allow the call to prayer to be played, and twice the ordinance has not been changed to allow this religious exemption. But 2.5 years ago, the mosque at 6345 Schaefer began abusing the noise ordinance and has not been made to comply. I hear that work will be done on the noise ordinance by the City Council in the coming session. Where does it state that loudspeakers are allowed by persons or organizations to play a 3 to 5 minute advertisement twice daily? I've looked and I haven't found it, but maybe our city lawyer can show us where this is stated. 60 decibels is already too loud for personal, business, or religious noise in a residential area when this sound can be heard inside closed windows a quarter mile away, and it should be lowered. Monitoring now is spotty at best, and the mosque is almost always over 70 decibels. Our Lebanese and our Italian neighbors alike have stated they do not want this intrusive sound, and 40 residents have already signed the petition that we have pursued to end this infringement by our city government on our personal freedom. The loose leaf violation for dumping in neighborhoods took 9 years for the council to rectify. The historic building ordinance has taken 6 years to bring to completion. And I've been working with the police, mayor, and city council now for 2.5 years, and there is still no resolution to bring about compliance with the noise ordinance. Christmas trees, nativity scenes, Christmas lights, and bells ringing the hour do not use loudspeakers. They do not preach words into our homes and residential neighbors. Comparing them to the call to prayer is an affront to our intelligence. The Bible tells us to love one another. Do to others what you would have them do to you. It is my hope and prayer that
You have 30
will know,
seconds.
thank you, the love of Jesus, and help us all continue to live together with peace of mind and privacy in our own homes in the city of Dearborn. Let's indeed put unity in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Unger. Okay, next we have Dakota. Yes.
Hello. I have a question
Just
for
your
the mayor
name,
of
sir.
Dearborn.
You just need to say your name.
Okay, Dakota Lyken.
Last name, I'm sorry?
Lyken.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here on behalf of Public Opinion for Dearborn. I just have a question for the mayor of Dearborn about the latest events with Jake Lane. I've noticed that there's been an increasing division between Christians and Muslims, and I'm just wondering if at any point the Muslim community would be willing to work together with the Christians against a common enemy known as the Jew.
Mr. Dakota, I mean,
I relinquish the rest of my time for the mayor to respond.
that's not how it works. This is a council meeting, and you're here to address the council. This is not the mayor's meeting.
Okay.
So if you'd like to speak with the mayor, there's a process
Well, then
for that
I asked the
aspect.
whole council, are you guys willing to address that problem? Because we do have a Jewish problem.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
All right.
Anti-Semitism is not a thing.
All right. Go ahead, sir. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that'd be it.
Okay.
Is that the end?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else here to address the council regarding city business? Okay, step forward.
Dennis Duggan, 1101 Morley Manor, the corner of Ford Field. I just feel to be one of the blessed and luckiest people in the world. In 2007, the lady that had my apartment fell and broke her hip at age 95, and 25 years in the nursing home. She came to my nursing home in Southgate, and thank God I took real good care of her, because 2007, the market had gone down, the family wanted to get rid of the apartment, and I was forced to move to Dearborn because of a good deal. So, but I would always like to be high. I'm on the 11th floor, I look east, I see the sunrise, everything that I wanted. But what I got involved in because of my past and my political involvement with different cities, especially when I was in Detroit, was the political life of Dearborn. And our young mayor was probably still in school, but coming through, and you're hearing about him, and Leslie and George and Lansing. I started to come to meetings, and everything is just wonderful. I love Dearborn, and I feel like my rear end just fell into a vat of butter. Just really did. So, to the mayor, I would like to say, and I'd like the council to back me up on this. Now listen to the instinct here. You are history. You are our history, and you are historic. I think it's time for your portrait to go on the wall. All right? He won't do it.
I know. We've been talking about that for 4 years.
He won't do it, but I stand in the line and will keep coming back and keep coming back. But please, council, try to provoke him to do that. And the other thing is, you know, you are historic, but the fact that you won this election and you're not history, you're not history, you are active, we need to see that hallway finished.
Thank you, sir.
Or brought up to date.
That's right. Thank you. All right, anyone else here to address the council regarding city business? Okay, we'll close the public comment section, 7:57. And before we move to the consent agenda, are there any items that any member wish to remove from the consent agenda to discuss individually?
Item 10.
Item 10? All right, Mr. Clerk, can you remove item 10?
Yes.
To be put aside, all right. Anyone else? All right, so other than item 10, we need offer and support. Offer by
Support.
Councilman Enos, supported by Councilwoman Herrick. Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Paris?
Yes.
Councilmember El Sawafi?
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick?
Yes.
Council President Sereni?
Yes.
7 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, Mr. Clerk, can we go to the next item?
Item number 10, resolution by council members Enos and Hammoud awarding a 2-year contract with 2 one-year renewal options to Canfield Equipment Services for Police Department vehicle uplifting for fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $240,575 and fiscal year 2027 in the amount of $250,000 and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. This item was brought forward by the Police Department for upfitting by Canfield Equipment located in Warren, Michigan for our police vehicles. The requested amount is $240,575 and is requested immediate effect. Councilman Hammoud?
Yeah, just some notes for purchasing when I was kind of going through this contract. I see we disqualified a large amount of the bidders and kind of looking into some of the vendors, I did see we need to update some of our bid specs. And my only request for this is if we could bring this back when it comes for the renewals, I would like to see if you guys could investigate splitting part of this contract, since it's 25 vehicles, and it would be a difference of $25,000 per year almost if we were able to get the lower price from some of the other vendors that were disqualified because of various reasons and certifications. So.
Yeah, good evening, Council. Mark Krasinski, Purchasing Manager. Absolutely, we've discussed it internally, updating the certifications. They have changed in the last year or so to new certifications.
Yep.
But we have verified that the awarded vendor does have that certification. Unfortunately, the disqualified vendors did not have that certification.
Yep.
But we will discuss that, and I'll talk to the police department about possibly splitting that up in the future.
All right, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments on this item?
I got one quick one.
Councilman Enos.
Can we get a copy of that certification when the new one?
Yeah,
comes to us?
absolutely.
Just send to us when-
Absolutely. It's a pro upfitter certification from Ford. We also require Axon Enterprises certification. So, yeah, I can provide those to you.
So what was changed?
The program changed to from QVM, I believe it's called, to now Pro Upfitter. I believe it's just some additional elements to the certification. Is a new name.
QVM is, it was sunset in 2023. Pro Upfitter is for EVs too, which we have, I think we still have a Mach-E, right?
I think we have a couple Mach-Es. Yeah. I think we have like 6 of them. Okay. So you'll update that for the future option.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other questions or comments on this item? The objection, unanimous roll. Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item number 17, resolution by council members Enos and Hamud approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of November 18th, 2025.
Okay, are there any additions, deletions, or modification to the minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? The unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 18, resolution by council members Hamud and Paris approving the minutes of the previous special meeting of November 25, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these minutes? Okay, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 19, resolution by council members Enos and Hamud approving the minutes of the previous special open meeting of November 25, 2025.
All right, thank you. Are there any additions, deletions, or modification to these minutes? Okay, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 20, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1861, an ordinance to amend the administration chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending sections 2-476 to 2-490.3, Division 7, entitled Historic District Ordinance. Resolution by council members Hamud and Paris to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So this is a long time coming. Preservation of historic properties and landmarks is controlled by our local Historic Districts Act, PA 169 of 1970. The State Preservation Office has completed the review of our proposed ordinance. The ordinance has received a preliminary approval with minor edits requested, and the edits have been incorporated into our current ordinance revision. This is the second and final reading of our ordinance. I want to thank our legal department, Mr. Mendelson, that took the lead regarding this, and it's been a few years, if not longer, in the making to get it to where it could work and we can begin our process, which will entail a historic district committee that is going to be appointed by the council and then turn into a historic district commission that will then take a seat and go forward as well. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments from my colleagues? Councilman Hamud?
Yes, I think we've been talking about this one since I got on council. Big thank you to, I think Brad especially worked on this in legal. So,
It's Mendelson, yeah.
You know, I think that this required a lot of work to bring up to speed. And if you actually look through the red line document we have here, we're talking pages and pages of removals and additions. So that's why this took so long, is making this legal was very tough. I think, you know, we talked about this a lot, but I'll say one more time. One of the big reasons why I'm personally more okay with this than some of our first drafts of it is I think we've done a very good job of adding in appeals. I think balancing between what are now two bodies to allow people to be kind of more independent as far as designating versus regulating in the historic district, and there's a lot of transparency to this process. So I think we found a very happy middle ground that will accomplish the things that the neighborhood association has been asking for while still, allowing residents to maintain their property rights. So I think this is a great balance and very good work, and I really appreciate all the work, especially the legal department did on this.
All right, thank you. Any other one from the council? Councilman Herrick?
I said something about this a little bit earlier, and I've said before, I thank our residents who have been at many, many meetings encouraging council to move forward with updating this historic district ordinance and helping educate the public about what it really means. During this time, Preservation Dearborn, the nonprofit organization, was formed, and that nonprofit's done wonderful work in telling the stories of some of our historic properties in Dearborn over the years. They had been, articles had been published in printed newspapers. They're available online. Some of the historic books about historic homes that have been written, some of that work was generated through Preservation Dearborn, the research of the community members who were involved in writing those articles, but all because they wanted to bring the attention to the public about what we have that's so special here in Dearborn that deserves protection. As Council President says, just because something's 50 years old doesn't necessarily mean it's historic. It doesn't necessarily need to be preserved, but sometimes it does. If it's so unique that you're not going to find it somewhere else, or if it's got such a story to tell, the architecture and the history of that single building, the resource, or a neighborhood, what this ordinance does is it defines the path to be taken if an individual or a group wants to try to preserve something for history. And the steps are in there. Public input is part of the process. And as my fellow councilman said, a commission is established to make sure that the rules are followed going forward if a property is designated as historic. But it doesn't work on its own. All these steps have to be followed in order to designate something as historic. And the benefit of having done that in the long run is that a property owner might have access to tax credits for renovations and other protections for their historic property. But it's a clear path, and nothing happens automatically, and there are lots of steps involved. And that's part of why this ordinance is so complex, but boiled right down to its nuts and bolts, that's what it is. It's a set of steps that you have to follow if you want to protect something. So thank you to the residents who have dedicated so much time. Again, our legal department, and Brad in particular, working with the state to make sure that the language follows what the state requires, and meeting with the residents and listening to what we needed to do here in order to get to the point where we are. So thank you so much. I appreciate the work of my colleagues and everyone who worked on this, and I'm looking forward to it passing. Thank you.
Excellent. And I know Maria is here. Yes, if you'd like to come forward. Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good.
You're invited now.
You can come forward. You can come forward now. For me.
You never know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I just want to thank Maria, and I want you to be able to, sorry, if someone would like to speak. I was on the council. I was on the council when this ordinance did not get support, had support, and then withdrew support, and we spent over 2 years and at least 15 meetings or so on it because of the concerns that some of the residents had and so on. But as I indicated to Maria in the beginning, we had a millage that was failed on $16.7 million. The voters said they were not going to pay for a temporary millage that was over 20 years. And I gave you the commitment that this will be brought forward. And I meant it. I mean, I believe in history very much. And I really appreciate the history that you have highlighted, some of them with my parents or grandparents and so on and so forth. I know that we do need to preserve it, and it's a slippery slope. I hate to use Councilman Abraham's analogy, but it was very pointed for residents to understand. If you live in a historic district and your house is not a historic asset and you want to replace your roof, you do not have to get a permit in the city of Dearborn, but if you're in a historic district, you have to go through a waiting period and stuff. So was a lot of property rights concern, and we wanted to make sure we flushed it out. I do feel very comfortable that we will get a good committee, and my concern is what we mentioned in the previous meetings about making sure the committee has the ability to delegate. But I just want you to know that for myself, and I speak for the council, that the council's committed to making sure that we preserve, a lot of areas that I know you're privy to that think they're covered, but they're not actually historic districts. And just for the residents, since 1997 or so, according to the legal department, there has never been a valid legal ordinance on the books at the city of Dearborn. And that's the fact. It took us longer, but I'm proud of it. I don't think it's 97 to 4-year term. I think the 4-year term trumps that. But as I indicated to you, Maria, and I appreciate you coming forward, staying active on it, and then meeting with the legal department, because I know when we met with our staff, you were surprised that we already had the ordinance in with the state. It does take, there is many levels of steps, and we want to make sure our residents have the protections that they can get from the historic aspect, whether it's any type of grant funding or designation, but also make sure that the people are not affected, because as everyone knows, the property rights in our great country are very sacred, right? As far as you can dig down, as far as you can go up, the property is yours. So we had to make sure that it was done properly. And I do feel that we have a good mix now. We're going to need your help to go ahead and come up with this committee, which we will then further go through once this passes and seasons, and the mayor does exercise his right to not veto it. We will then be setting forward. Yeah, so you didn't know that, right? See? Right? You have not vetoed anything. That's true, but I had to, got to push something on you. But anyways, we will then be looking forward to looking at budgeting and setting up some rules, and we're going to need your help regarding some people that we feel will help the study committee, because that's under the purview of the council. But I can't thank you enough. I know that a lot of people have seen you at homecoming, having a tent out there talking about preservation, and folks, like they always say, the best day to start is now, right? We can always start and then see where we go from there. So I do feel that we're headed in the right direction right now, and I do appreciate all your work and your patience, and all the organizations in our area, from River Lane, where I used to live, to the other associations that have made it very clear that this is very important to Dearborn, and we agree with you. I don't think any of us didn't. I think our concern from day one is that how fast can we pass something without going through very details and worrying about the people that are not going to be historic assets. So if you have a house that is newer like mine, I like to, when I owned it on Law, and all around me were historic houses. I didn't build the house. I bought it in 2000, and you would be affected. So we wanted to make sure we had a good balance. So I'd like to know if you'd like to have any saying before we vote.
I do.
All right.
Should I take my verbal victory lap right now?
Yes. Just state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is Maria Fogarassi. I live on Long Boulevard. I'm here for Preservation Dearborn. And I'd like to say that even though I'm the one standing in front of you right now, I have a team of people, and some of whom could be here this evening, some not. But every single person contributed in some way, shape, or form to this effort over all the time. And when I did come here on these occasions and speak in front of you, actually, the more frequently I came, the more sort of nervous I was. And I would go home, and my team, we would email with each other, and we would try to see inside your minds and discuss each one of you and what you might be thinking and how you might vote if a vote were to happen
Just called my
tomorrow.
wife.
I do have to highlight two individuals on City Council, both Councilman Ken Paris and Council President Pro Tem Leslie Herrick. We knew from the start you were always encouraging us. We knew you were behind us, even outside of council meetings, and we really appreciate that. But tonight, all 7 of you came together and you voted. Well, no, we haven't voted yet, but hopefully we're about to vote. And I know the ordinance is intricate. You said it was slashing red and slashing black, and all the work that Brad Mendelson put in for a number of years, not just this last
absolutely. Number of years.
revision. But we ourselves, and you are not, and you probably had questions, and hopefully your questions were answered in some way, shape, or form. You have to turn to the experts. We're not historic preservationists, but you did allow us to bring people here on occasion. You mentioned that 2 weeks ago, that we could bring some experts. We brought Mallory Bauer, more recently Ellen Thackeray, Amy Arnold, retired now from SHPO, your favorite, the woman from Kalamazoo,
Yes, I like her.
Ferraro. You always like to
I do.
mention her when we're bringing up this topic. Then
That's
more
right.
recently, Devin Anderson from Quinn Evans. There's one individual who never came to Dearborn. She was the president of the Northville Historic Society at the Mill Race Village, Leanie Bailey. And she would always encourage me. And when I went up there to visit, she said, "It's going to happen, don't worry." And I said, "Do you think so, Leanie?" And then 1 or 2 years later, I said, "You know, we're not really getting anywhere." And she says, it's going to happen. I just know it." And I said, "I don't know." So anyway, I'm going to find her and tell her what happened tonight.
Good.
But I do want you to know that during all this time where we were on the back burner, that my group, our group, we were not idle. So we changed our name from Arsenal Riverbend to Preservation Dearborn to cover the entire city. We did, as Council President Pro Tem Leslie said, we became a nonprofit. We have a website, which we have to update, because if you go to the website, it's going to tell you to email City Council and ask for the ordinance to be updated. We have evening presentations at the Historical Museum. We have websites now, and we have, I said that already, but we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We put the book together that you already mentioned. We researched it, published it right after the first COVID winter. We gave each of you a copy. Matt
Yes.
Graff, the assistant curator of the Historical Museum, said recently at a meeting of the Historical Advisory Commission that they have about 200 left on pallets at the museum. That means 800 have been sold. That's
great.
about $28,000. We repaid the seed money to the Museum of Guild of Dearborn, and we have made a profit for them. And then starting a couple of years ago, we started up walking tours with Mason Christensen, the archivist at the museum. And these are chock full of information through, I think we have 4. We have East Dearborn Downtown, West Dearborn Downtown. The Rouge Gateway is proving to be very popular from Paris Baguette through to the Fairlane Estate. And then this past summer, we added Warren Avenue. And we've got these fabulous city grants for Warren Avenue. We're making it safer. We're updating facades, Nadia's Pharmacy, Alamir. But what was there before there was Warren Avenue? And who was Warren?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could think about taking a tour, and I'm out on a limb right now, but I'm almost done. You know, the Historical Museum has a program for all second graders in Dearborn called the Pioneer School Program, where they come to the museum and they learn what life was like on the banks of the Rouge 150 years ago. And when I'm down in the basement of the McFadden Ross House in the one-room schoolhouse, and I'm volunteering to be historian on that day, the children are all schooled to say thank you, of course, at the end of every session. But when a teacher says to me, "Oh, you know, I didn't know what you just told us about today. I learned something. Thank you." That is just the best feeling. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from or how long you've been in any given area. If you know the history, you always have a deeper appreciation. It won't make you wealthy. It won't put money in your pocket, but it enriches you in a different way. So and then we have one, we haven't yet succeeded. If you remember the Hidden House, if you take from Oakwood to Beach, the tiny stretch of Porter Street, there's the Hidden House that belonged to a school teacher, Hubbard Hidden. It's the oldest house in Dearborn, 1848. He let children borrow books from his house, so it is quasi our first library. And we have been trying to save that house, but we've run into a brick wall. We did try to get it moved to the grounds of the Centennial Library, library to library. That didn't work out. So as soon as Sam Fakih gets his grants, and I think he's going to proceed to take down Quarefold Funeral Home, we're going to lose the Hidden House. So if anybody listening tonight has a tiny piece of land somewhere in Dearborn, or you want to contribute to us so we could move this house, it's not a beautiful historic home, but it's a historic building.
Yeah.
And it looks horrible right now. The aluminum siding has been stripped, and it's really very small. It doubled in size when Henry Ford built his tractor plant, and they needed additional workers' housing. But we still hope to move the Hidden House. So at the end, again, we want to say thank you, and you all explained very well the intricacies and the considerations behind what happened tonight. I don't need to reiterate that, but Preservation Dearborn does also want to congratulate everybody here on the recent election. I think all of you who chose to run were successful. The council, City Clerk George Downey, and of course our mayor. And now we have you to guide us and to lead us through the next 4 years. 4 years is a long time. And I know there are going to be challenges with what we've just discussed. There are always challenges, but you gave us the path going forward. And just a personal note, and again, what's already been said tonight, I'm not going to be the only person in this room or in all of Dearborn who's going to miss, I'm going to say just Leslie Herrick sitting up there. So thank you, Leslie. Thank you. And thank you, Council President Serini, for putting us on the agenda.
You got it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
And Mr. Merlo, Mr. Merlo, I appreciate the book. I know you had a lot to do with it. I know there's a lot of research that went into that. So
yes,
that
we have
was
one
very
of our,
good.
well, actually,
Thank
we
you.
have one of our editors, Chris Merlo, here this
Yes,
evening.
Chris.
And the wife of the other editor, Jane O'Cray, being Glenn O'Cray, also here
Yeah,
this
of course.
evening. So,
Yeah,
so
it
anyway.
takes all of them.
Thank you. And
Of
you know,
course.
if I were dramatic, which I won't be, I could quote Reese Witherspoon, the last line of the movie Legally Blonde, where she's speaking at her Harvard law school commencement, and she just looks at her classmates and she says, "We did it."
That's it.
So thank you.
You did it.
Thank you.
Congrats. All right, Mr. Clerk, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. I know there's many people that put work behind the scenes to get this through. Mr. Clerk, can we have the second and final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1861, an ordinance to amend the administration chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dearborn by amending sections 2-476 to 2-490.3 of Division 7 entitled Historic District Ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any objection to unanimous roll?
Well, I need to call a roll call.
I'm sorry?
Ordinance.
I apologize. That's right. Roll call vote. Yes, I apologize. Roll call vote.
We'll start with Council President Serini.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Paris?
Yes.
Councilmember El Swafi?
Yes.
Councilmember Herrick?
Yes.
7 yeas, the ordinance passes.
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone. Thanks for your hard work. Next item.
Item 21, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 25-1862, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the City of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 2727 South Gully Road from an IB medium industrial to an IA light industrial zoning classification. Resolution by council members Enos and Hammoud to take from the table for its final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. The proposed rezoning will support local businesses and reduce the intensity of the industrial zoning in an area of the city that abuts a city park. The property is 4.6 acres and contains 72,754 square feet. One-story structure used for an indoor recreational facility, the Dearborn Racquet and Health Club. The proposed rezoning is also consistent with the parcel's future land use designation for mixed-use centers. This is the second and final reading of this ordinance. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have the final reading?
This is the final reading of ordinance number 25-1862, an ordinance to amend section 9.02 of ordinance number 06-1111 of the City of Dearborn by rezoning the property located at 2727 South Gully Road from the IB medium industrial zoning to an IA light industrial zoning classification.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammoud.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember El Swafi.
Yes.
Perhaps the last time, Council President Pro Tem Herrick.
Yes.
Council President Serini.
Yes.
7 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item.
Item number 22, resolution by council members Enos and Paris approving the application of Willowbrook LLC for an obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act Oprah exemption for property located within the 600 Town Center Redevelopment District 1, located at 600 Town Center Drive in Dearborn, Michigan, subject to approval at the public hearing taking place earlier today, on December 9th, 2025, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The consideration of this item is contingent upon a public hearing which was held earlier. The development team representing ownership and operation partners for 600 Town Center. This is the old Hyatt Regency. The application for an exemption of property taxes and the 600 Town Center Development District 1. The project will result in revitalizing and reactivating the property from the former Hyatt Regency building with approximately 216 hotel rooms, 258 apartments, and 82,000 square feet of convention space. With 135 permanent jobs, a majority of them will be paid at a rate of higher than $55,000 a year. This property has been vacant and deteriorating since 2018, following the closure of the former Hyatt Regency and subsequent failure to revitalize, sorry, attempts for the Edward Hotel and other previous owners. The developer anticipates the completion and all rehabilitation activities no later than the end of 2027. The Mayor, you have some comments on this? Yes, sir.
Revitalize. Sorry, Mike. You know, when I first came into office, there was several blighted buildings standing across the city. But I think at the center of our city, the largest building stood, which was the Hyatt, former 700-room hotel, the second largest convention space at the time in the state of Michigan, and once standing there as the premier space that you wanted to stay right here in the heart of city Dearborn, 15 minutes out of the DTW airport, right beside our Ford World headquarters. And it went downhill once Hyatt pulled its name off of that building back in 2012. Because the investment that was about $20 million that was necessary could not be made. And so the standards collapsed, and at that point, it kept changing hands, until it was shuttered for about the last 10 years now. And to finally have a partner and a developer who came forward, who picked this up in a sheriff's auction, you never know what's going to happen during that time. But we had signaled beforehand that anybody looking at this parcel, if you're not willing to have a conversation about what the city wants to happen in this building, don't look to acquiring it, because you're not going to see the support that you need out of the city to make sure that you can execute this development. And we were able to find that partner. And to think that maybe a year from now, doors would be open to a brand new facility of over 200 hotel rooms and 200 apartments, apartments potentially targeting new grads out of college or college students right across the street over at University of Michigan Dearborn or Hanford College, and to revitalize the largest blighted building in the city of Dearborn once and for all. That is quite the accomplishment and the commitment that we gave 4 years ago when we ran for office. So kudos to the entirety of the council, to Jordan Twardy, to the development team, to legal, and to everybody that was involved in ensuring that this thing made it across the finish line. We're so thrilled and excited. I've walked inside the building a few times now with the work underway, and I can't wait for the city and the world to see what it looks like. It's going to be a beautiful site, and it's really going to bring back the glory and the pride that we all had in saying the Hyatt was in our backyard. It's not going to be called the Hyatt. I can at least tell you that. But you're going to hopefully gleam with pride as you drive by that facility and hopefully visit it. The last time I was in there was my sister, who was the youngest. It was her prom pictures. And so it'll be nice to re-enter, hopefully, with a brand new facade, brand new life, reinvigorating all of Dearborn together. So congratulations to everybody who had a hand in this.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. And then for our historians out there, I do remember taking the monorail to the mall.
Yep.
That's right. So we are very pleased. And just to talk with the mayor, during his term, we had a couple issues with that property. I can't thank enough the property owner flying in here, putting a great team together, really hitting the ground running. You could tell the difference when someone is wanting to get something done, and we always want, as the government, to set the table for them and allow it to flourish. So we do appreciate this, and look forward to what it's going to be. I think it's going to be really, really nice. So can't wait to see it happen. Any other? Yes. All right, any other questions or comments on this item?
This took as long as the historical ordinance.
It did. All right. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 23, resolution by council members Hamud and Paris authorizing to establish a brownfield plan and reimbursement agreement for for the property and redevelopment of 600 Town Center Drive, also authorizing the mayor to execute the reimbursement agreement and all necessary documents on behalf of the city and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is a companion piece from the item before for the new development. The project already received special land use approval in February of 2025, while the current owner has already begun stabilization work and attracting high standard hotel operators and securing major events requires a much larger risk and investment. The developers have already paid over $600,000 in outstanding taxes left by the previous owners. The project represents an anticipated $45 million of private investment, including $7 million in acquisition costs and rehabilitation expected to be completed by, again, the end of 2027, God willing. With support, the development is seeking to initiative to a package that includes a 12-year tax abatement and a 30-year brownfield TIF. After receiving local approval, the developer will seek state authorization to capture non-local tax for reimbursement. Any annual payments the developer receives after the administrative and state fees are considered to be their benefit. The brownfield plan includes a maximum eligible expenses of $22,175,301. The plan duration is 30 years, and the TIF is between 13 and at the 13th through 30th year, and and we also have an estimated TIF capture for year 1 to 30 to be $11.4 million. Any questions or comments on this item? Councilman Hammoud.
I know this is a companion piece, but actually this is the part that I'm more excited about because one, I think thanks to the council and the study sessions that we did, the brownfield agreement, which stretches out longer, actually gives us more regulatory authority over the property itself, such as that we would be required to approve any kind of sale or transfer of the property during the incentive period, and that the hotel would be required to maintain a full-service luxury standard for the entire lifetime of the tax abatements that we're allowing them. So I think people may not know the difference kind of between the Oprah and the brownfield, but the regulatory hurdle to be approved for a brownfield, because it comes with some state money as well, and like kind of state level tax abatements, it's actually a higher threshold for the developer to meet, and not every developer is able to meet all the compliance and requirements for a brownfield, as well as the standards that the council recommended be added to it. So I think this agreement is kind of what helps us sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that we essentially subsidized part of this development. But I think it really can't be overstated how much work actually went into this, both by ECD and the mayor himself, actually going out and working with the property developer. Because I think when people look at Dearborn, you know, what people see on paper and what people hear in the news is not always the same thing as when you physically come down here and tour the neighborhoods and tour the city. I think that's what ended up happening, and that's really what helped motivate this project to kind of keep going and go forward at the level of service that we expected. So I think what I really like to see personally was that we have an engaged owner, and I think you know, we really have the administration and the mayor to thank for all of that work. So I think this is going to be a great agreement, and hopefully it results in what we think it's going to result in. So thank you, guys.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 24, resolution by council members Hammoud and Enos authorizing the finance director or designee to recognize donations from DTE and Launch Family Entertainment in the amount of $1,000 to appropriate the donations toward the East Dearborn Downtown Development Authority's Ice Sculpture Walk event that took place on December 5th, 2025, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'd like to thank and recognize the donations from DTE and Launch Family Entertainment. This is part of our East Downtown Development Authority new ice sculpture walk that's being handling this December. The East Downtown Authority is requesting that we authorize these donations to be approved. This was the same ice sculpture company, Clear Cut Ice, that we used for 2024 Jingle Bash, and hopefully it was a success. We are asked to authorize the finance director and designee to recognize and appropriate $1,000 in donation from both DTE and the Launch Family Entertainment towards the East Downtown Development Authority ice sculpture walkway with immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay, an objection, unanimous roll. Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 25, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos awarding a contract to Inland Waters Pollution Control, Inc. in the amount of $141,236 for Colson Palmer Backwater Gate Condition Assessment, Phase 1. Also authorizing the city engineer to execute all change orders and modifications and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is an ongoing CDBG grant on Colson Palmer Storm Rehabilitation Project. Inlet Water Pollution Company will be performing a condition assessment for existing backwater gates in outfall. Because of the existing backwater gates are continuously underwater, the assessment shall include, but is not limited to, the condition of the existing timbers and the gate hinges. The gate will also be lifted to allow the framing, seating, and gaskets to be inspected, stop logs which will be turned over, and the city, upon completion of this project, will be furnished an installation and adjusted to isolate the existing gates in the backwater chamber. It is requested the City Council authorize this award, and it is also requested that the city engineer be authorized to execute all change orders and modifications. Any questions or comments on this? Okay, any objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 26, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos authorizing a cooperative contract purchase from Skydio through the Sourcewell Cooperative Program in the amount of $294,401.92 for the purchase of 6 Skydio drones for the first responder drone pilot program. Also authorizing the finance director to appropriate funds in the amount of $294,401.92 in fiscal year 26 total from the Drug Enforcement Fund balance to the Drug Law Enforcement Fund, Police, Public Safety, Federal Justice, Operating Supplies, Equipment, and non-capital account. Also requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The police department is requesting the city council to approve 6 how do you pronounce that, Chief?
Revitalized, Council President. Oh, no, Skydio.
Good one.
Skydio.
Skydio.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, Chief. Drones. Well, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to turn this over to you. We're getting 6 drones. Why don't you give us the back on this?
I appreciate you, Council President.
You got it.
Shaheen, Chief of Police. So, look, this is going to put us at the leading edge of technology and the way that police departments respond to calls for service. It's a pilot program that will strategically station 6 drones across the city. So you'll have 2 in the west end, 2 on our police department, and 2 in the east end. What does that mean for the resident? That when you call 911, you can have a response in less than 2 minutes now at any part of the city. It's going to allow us faster response times. It provides a live feed to officers in the field in our real-time crime center. It'll tell you the crowd size, where suspects may be earlier. It'll lead to solving crimes, finding lost people, improve our response overall. Cities that have implemented this technology across the country have seen a reduction in their calls for service between 20 and 30%. I could go on, but I'm excited about this, and again, I appreciate the leadership of Mayor Hamud and the support of our council that has always supported our first responders, so thank you.
Absolutely, Chief.
I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I know this was a long time coming. I know that actually it was better. We waited. Things got better pricing, but more importantly, better units. This also can be used for situations where, for example, Chief, we have maybe some youth in the parking decks that we could send a drone out instead of an officer. They will have lights and sirens, audio capability. Is that correct?
Correct. Everything from responding on police runs, but beyond that are fire calls, fire scenes, crash scenes, damage assessment, flood mitigation. The possibilities, I could go on, are endless. And so it's a pilot program. We're going to evaluate it after a year, make sure that's working for our residents, but I'm excited to get this off the ground.
Well, I appreciate it, Chief. And you know that, we did the drone videos together. The one that we have are for our people in our station. That this is a little bit different. And I can tell you, for me, as I've said, and my colleagues I'm sure agree, is that we got to have the best technology. The bad guys can't have the best technology. And we got to make sure that we are keeping up to date. So I can't thank you enough for your leadership. We can sit up here and approve this. I've said this many times, but it has to be brought forward. And Chief, you have continued to evolve that department. I can't thank you enough. And for me, it's very proud to live in the city of Dearborn when you have the technology that will help keep our residents safe. And more importantly, too, the safety is the most importantly, but we also are going to return savings on these things. These technology does come into cost savings and more efficiencies for our residents, so it's very appreciative.
Thank you for your support. We can't do it without a team, so thank you.
All right. So I just wanted to make sure we indicate this contract is for $1,472,009.60. For over a 5-year period, it's requested the finance director be able to authorize and appropriate the funds with immediate effect. Any questions or comments? Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. Last week, I received the protocols for how the police department handles who's responsible for the current drones that we have, and that there are guidelines and there are rules that you follow in addition to, of course, FAA required rules, but internally, some of the protocols, because the police department is aware that people are concerned about privacy, and as technology evolves, that those concerns continue to grow. So could you just kind of go over a little bit to reassure the residents that the drones are only used in an active situation, they're not patrolling the streets, that kind of thing?
So Councilman Herrick, thank you for that question. You are correct. We're not going to be launching the drones to just fly around without a purpose. And so if we get a 911 call that would be appropriate, we would launch the drone. So if you're calling for the police instead of a police car coming down your street, which very will still happen, you might hear a drone overhead prior to the police getting there, knowing that we have eyes on what's happening to keep you safe. There are options as we build this out as it relates to the policy that we'll be evaluating. We're going to talk with stakeholders, council members, and our mayor's administration, make sure that we put a policy in place that puts guardrails that everyone's comfortable with.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Councilman Hammoud?
Yeah, so when this came up, I had 2 big questions, and you answered them with the cow, but I want to also ask them again so people can kind of hear and understand. So one you kind of addressed, which was whether the drones would be responding or whether people would still get to see officers at their door. So one of the biggest concerns was, well, when I call the police, and I'm a Dearborn resident, I want to see an officer. So I think you kind of had a response for that as far as what kind of runs or whether you guys would make that determination.
So, Councilman Hammoud, thank you. This will never be a substitute for a face-to-face interaction with the police officer. This is just going to allow for a quicker response. Very often, our dispatchers are trained to even ask that question if it's a call that might be questionable. Do you want contact with an officer? So this will never substitute for that, sir.
And then the other big question, as always, residents are concerned about staffing. So could you describe who would be flying these drones and whether that would affect our road patrol staffing?
So I'm proud to say that under Mayor Hammoud, we've added almost 9 officers, I think, over the last several budget cycles, Mayor. And so our staffing is higher than it's ever been. We're fully budgeted 191 officers. And so I'm proud to say that we will not be pulling any officers off the street to do this. We're going to staff it with some part-time officers and just potentially 1 drone pilot. But we will not be reducing the staffing level on patrol to do it.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Councilman, you already counseled out. Councilman Paris?
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate being able to ask those questions during the committee of the whole because there were some concerns or wanted reassurances on this. It's my understanding these drones are being leased.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not owning them. It's over the 5-year period.
Correct.
Which I believe is probably good because technology changes. We can probably get updated drones if we were to go forward with the program in the future. I do appreciate the questions that were answered during the committee of the whole. For the most part, as far as personnel, I think we all have a concern about keeping our personnel numbers up, whether it be the fire department, public safety, dispatch, police department. So, even though nearby Taylor has a drone program that they instituted, I believe, this last June, the police chief, even at that time, and I brought it up during the committee of the whole, had some thoughts that he did not want this to go ahead and supplant some of the personnel, and you've answered that, so I appreciate that. And it's my understanding then too, just one thing that we haven't really discussed that much, that this has the capability though, through the center to be able to integrate with fuses.
Councilman Pierce, once we build out the Real-Time Crime Center, I encourage you to come and see where we are, but it'll be a single pane that'll allow it to incorporate what we have in Fusus, which could be our city cameras or business owners that opted in, our body cameras and the drone all in one pane. And so that type of situational awareness, having that kind of information available to your fingertips, I can tell you confidently, I don't know of another department in the country that has incorporated all of this technology. And some people have Fusus, some people have drones, but I haven't seen it all together to work seamlessly, and I'm excited about what that's going to do for our department and our community.
Yeah, it is exciting because being at the leading edge of all this, being up front, there's always the possibility that we learn from mistakes, and as we go along, because we are new in the state doing this type of a program, that we really need everybody to be on board with this to go forward to make sure that we don't have those mistakes, or if we do, we learn from those mistakes. So the only other request that I would have too is, I believe back in April when we did go ahead and approve the Fusus program, I made a request back at that time that we do get a report to me anyways, about the number of entities that have entered into agreements with us with Fusus. So, I mean, sometime in the near future. I know that was April. It takes a while to get implemented, so whenever that's...
I'd be happy to do
that.
Well,
for this item, though.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Council President.
No, I just want, absolutely, we'll make a note of that. Care to mark that down for the follow-up.
My final thought, and while I appreciate the support of the council and obviously Mayor Hammoud, I really am grateful for the trust of the community. This doesn't happen without a community that trusts its first responders and its police department, and I'm very grateful for that, so thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Councilman Al-Sawafi?
Thank you, Council President. For me, I understand this program is not just about gadgets or headlines, it's really about public safety. And one thing I want to highlight is that this really provides a safeguard for our officers who are, responding to the scene. Even in the military, we're always talking about incorporating technology. How do you absorb that first contact? And this does that for our officers, so I really appreciate that. And I'm proud of our Dearborn Police Department, Mayor Abdullah Hammoud, and yourself, Chief, for embracing this innovative, cutting-edge technology. Dearborn never shies away from leadership, and this program demonstrates another model of how we are continuing to set the standard for community policing.
Thank you,
so
sir.
Thank you, Chief. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? Chief, thank you. We have the next item, yeah. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 27, resolution by council members Herrick and Hammoud, authorizing a cooperative contract purchase from Axon Enterprise through the Sourcewell Cooperative Program in a total amount not to exceed $526,746 over a 5-year period for the purchase of 100 taser and accessories for the police department. Also authorizing the finance director to appropriate funds in the amount of $105,349.20 in the fiscal year 2026 total from the Drug Enforcement Fund balance to the Drug Law Enforcement Fund, Police, Public Safety, Federal Justice, Operating Supplies, Equipment, non-capital account, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Police Department is requesting the City Council to approve 100 tasers and accessories at a cost not to exceed $526,746 to modernize the department less lethal equipment. The investment will significantly improve our less lethal options and increase safety for both the officers and the public. The purchase will be made on January 1st of 2026 with the payments made over a 5-year period. It is requested the City Council authorize this contract not to exceed and requesting immediate effect. Chief, I know that there was a lot of discussion regarding these tasers. I actually had a few of our retired officers I've seen at the University of Michigan, and they have those tasers, so I asked them about those. So do you want to give a little bit for the residents to understand the technology, how much they have improved in this short period of time?
My pleasure. I'll try to do it as succinctly and briefly as I can. The technology and the tasers that we have are approximately 20 years old, and in layman's terms, they're only really effective from a distance of between 10 and 14 feet because it's the way that the tasers deploy. And you only get one opportunity to do it. And if it's not successful, really, you're only reduced to potentially a drive stun, which is not very effective, which is when you take the probes off and you go hands-on. The reality is the new ones now are effective for up to almost 40 feet, and it shoots multiple probes out. And as soon as 2 of them, up to 10 probes, as soon as 2 of them make contact, it then it delivers an electrical charge that can render someone incapacitated so that the situation's resolved. What I want to be very clear for everyone in the community, that what's the driving force of this is the preservation of life. Police officers have very few tools when someone's presented to them that's armed with an edged weapon or other instrument that could hurt them. And so really, this is long overdue. Again, I'm very grateful for the support of the mayor and council to see that our officers have the tools that they need to be safe and keep our community safe.
And then, Chief, not to put you on the spot, but, on my first term, we were, as you said, the pendulum goes one way, too far sometimes the other way. And I know at one point we had a lot of taser incidents. Then we were touting how well the tasers were reduction. Then we found out that there was only 4 tasers being used. They were not given to the officers. They were in the district, in the what do you call the beats, correct?
Correct.
So I don't see how that would be good. If an officer needs to get a taser, he has to call whoever's near him to bring it over, which is ineffective. That's a policy that we had before you took over.
Yeah, it's important to me that every officer has the tools to keep themselves and the community safe and to de-escalate situations appropriately.
So these are not going to be deployed in that method. They're going to be on
every
the
officer. Every officer will have a taser.
Right, which is a significant difference than it was in
every
the past
officer that's deployed in patrols. That's why I have almost 200 officers, but 100.
No, of course, during the patrol pass. Sure. But in the past, that wasn't the case.
Correct.
I want to make sure the residents know that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you don't have too many options when you're, so this is a great option. And the fact that they're so much more advanced, I think makes a big difference. So we really do appreciate this being brought forward. Any questions or comments from my colleagues? Okay, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Thank you, Chief. Next item.
Item 28, resolution by council members Enos and Paris, approving the proposed City of Dearborn Parks and Recreation Department 5-year master plan for the period of 2026 to 2030 and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Parks and Recreation Department has completed its 2026 through 2030 Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan for the City of Dearborn. The updated plan builds on previous comprehensive planning efforts and allows for the latest guidelines from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. As with earlier plans, community involvement was central in the process. Throughout the summer, residents were invited to share their feedback, ask questions, and discuss recreational and natural resources needed to public input. And sessions held across the city, including Salina Middle School, the Dearborn Ford Community Arts Center, and the Peace Park West. The final draft of the plan was made available for at least 30 days to ensure that our open public access, and formal public hearing was held at the Ford and Community Performing Arts Center to gather additional community comments and priorities. The 5-year plan is a crucial guide for future investment, helping the city prioritize improvements and ensure equitable access recreation opportunities in every neighborhood. Adoption of this plan also keeps the city eligible for the MNDR recreation grant funding and ensures data-driven decisions are being made and aligns with capital plans which demonstrated community needs. This is requested immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this? All right, any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Thank you. Next item.
Item 29, resolution by council members Paris and Enos authorizing the finance director or designee to recognize the 2026 Michigan Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program Award through the State Court Administrative Office in the amount of $12,186 in the general fund, 19th District Court Intergovernmental Revenue Account, and appropriate the same in the general fund, 19th District Court Veterans Treatment Court Expenditure Division, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The 19th District Dearborn's Veterans Court, thank you. Treatment Court applied for annual grant funding under the Michigan Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program, administrated through the State Court Administrative Office and the Michigan Supreme Court. The court was awarded $12,186. The grant period of the award is from October 1st of 2025 through September 30th, 2026. There's no matching requirement. These grant funds will support expenses associated with the drug and alcohol testing of program patients, treatment and participants, mandatory staffing, training, and travel, as well as various contract services. We'll get that one. It is requested that council authorize the grant with immediate effect. I know that we have a gentleman here from the court. Did you like to come forward and speak?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Murray, right? Davis?
Murray Davis.
Murray Davis.
Project Director and Program Coordinator for the Dearborn Veterans Treatment Court out of the 19th District Court of Michigan. Let me just first say good evening to the council, President Sereni, council members, Mayor Hammoud, Corporate Counsel Romer, we'll talk about that later, and also Clerk Delaney. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Now, I want to just start off, because it's easy for me just to say, look, the resolution is for the annual award that we get from the Michigan Supreme Court every year. So that's not really the issue that I want to be able to spend with you for a few minutes. I wanted to take the opportunity to do a couple of things. One, explain to all of you, in case you are unaware, what the Veterans Treatment Court does. Yep. And a lot of people don't know that yet, and I'll tell you why. Because what we do is we basically keep justice-involved veterans out of jail, and we basically treat them for the conditions that probably cause them to commit crimes to be in jail. So what we want to do, we basically go out and what we are a specialty court that does that. There are 27 of us in the state of Michigan. However, I have to admit that Dearborn is standing out. We've been recognized nationally. We do a very good job, I'm pleased to say. And I want to say, before I go further, on behalf of Judge Gene Hunt, who is our presiding judge, Judge Salome, Sam Salome, who is our chief judge, and on behalf of our court administrator, Tim Altala, who's with me tonight, I wanted to say thank you very much for your support. You guys have basically supported us every step of the way. I hope that you continue to do that. Now, what we're doing beyond this is we're going to do something that I think is really important. I hope it goes through. We've been fortunate enough to acquire and to be awarded a number of grants, actually totaling $1.3 million, believe it or not, and over the last, since 2019. So what we want to do is want to expand the services that we offer. Now, we've done some of that already. We've basically offered, as Councilman Herrick knows, we've offered a professional photography course. This is all through one of the federal grants that we were awarded a couple of years ago. In addition to that, we want to basically expand to something that we got a smaller award for this year to do a project, a pilot project for creative arts. Now, if you consider the fact that a lot of these veterans come back with PTSD and other conditions, the creative arts, we believe, has a tremendous asset to solve some of the problems, to keep them from doing something that's really detrimental called suicide prevention. And we want to prevent suicides for veterans, and we think creative arts programming support is one way we can treat that and do it. Now, we've been fortunate enough to do this small pilot during the part of the year this year. It had some success. Now I want to move forward with that and expand it and get it through and done through the other counties in southeastern Michigan. And so what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully get another award here in the fiscal year 26 that would allow us from the federal government to expand that to the counties here in southeastern Michigan. Again, I think that's the kind of thing that we would like to be able to do going forward. I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a part of this team. Our team is extremely good. We're professional. We've done a very good job. We want to move. We want to continue to do that. And the one thing I want to make sure is we always, always highlight the city of Dearborn. And the way we can do that is, again, is to let the public know what the Dearborn Veterans Treatment Court does. And to help do that, we've used some of our funding that we've got from the federal government to put on what we call a public awareness campaign, which consists of TV spots. We have 30-second and 15-second TV ads. And if I got it right, well, I think we might be able to show that right now.
Right, yep. We got it.
Veterans risk their lives to protect ours, but many return home with PTSD and mental health issues, oftentimes leading to substance abuse, unemployment, homelessness, and arrest. Dearborn Treatment Court is here to help. If you or a loved one are a veteran and have been convicted of a nonviolent misdemeanor, we can keep you out of jail and offer treatment plans and classes to get you back on your feet. Veterans Treatment Courts save lives, families, and futures. Visit us online, call, or scan the QR code for help.
Hey, Mr. Davis, yeah.
And to let the public know, to let the law enforcement and the attorneys know that we're there and here to help those people that get in trouble. One other thing I'll point out before I leave is that these cards are all a part of what we've distributed to all of the patrol officers in the Dearborn Police Department. We really depend on them, as Chief Sahin knows, we really depend on them to identify the veterans when they stop them, before they arrest them and so forth, to get right in the beginning to get them into our program. So that's what's happening that way. We also, I think what else we've done with that, but it's been working out fairly well. We're very supportive and really appreciate support of the chief and his patrol officers and team. That's all I wanted to share with you. Here for any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. For myself, I know that early on when when Gene Hunt was actually chief judge and he brought this forward, I had highlighted on my city communications internet, what do you call it, CDTV segment. So I thought it was a great program, and I know that we get ebbs and flows as far as participants, but we got to keep it going and let people know that it's available. Like you said, I think it's underutilized, but it's a tremendous option for Dearborn people to be able to have this option. So we appreciate everything you've done, and thank you for bringing this presentation forward as well.
You're welcome. Thank you for the time.
Any one of my colleagues have any questions or comments?
Sorry.
Councilman Paris?
Thank you, Council President. Just wanted to make mention, Maureen, I know you and I have talked a number of times,
Yes, we
did a
have.
council segment on your program a while back. I appreciate everything that you've done, and then also with the veterans programs throughout the city too. So thank you for that. If people are more interested in getting in touch with you, is that 943-2281 number the appropriate number for you?
Direct to my desk, sir.
Okay. And I remember that QR code. That's all sorts of information, and I have seen your commercials.
Yeah, great. I also point out to you as well, you mentioned the QR code. We've updated it, and with the help of the Dearborn IT department, which has been extremely supportive, we finally, just last week, got that new QR code, which appears on our TV ads, to go directly to a page on our Veterans Treatment Court portal and be able to complete a contact form, and then gets that routed directly to our Veterans Court email address. And then that's where I take over.
Thank you.
All you do.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you, we
welcome.
appreciate it. Any other
Thank you.
questions or comments? Councilman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. When this came up on the committee of the whole agenda last week, I made a point of saying I'd like to see that it remains on the regular agenda, because I think that the work that you're doing with all the specialty court work deserves recognition from the public, whether it's just that we have an outstanding court right here in Dearborn, and the passion that you have for serving right here in Dearborn, or if somebody knows somebody who might be eligible for one of these programs, might benefit from one of these programs. So I didn't even know that the commercials were coming out when I asked that. So this worked out perfectly.
Great.
Because I commend you for the work that you're doing, and our judges as well, because our courts are leading the way, it sounds like, when it comes to these kind of treatments.
We're very fortunate here in Dearborn, and I want to add my congratulations to you. And I understand that you're basically going to something different, but thank you for your support here in the council as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item. Thank you, Mr.
Item
Davis.
30, resolution by council members Paris and Enos recognizing sponsorships received from Ford Motor Company for $10,000, Mustang Fence $7,000, Kroger $520, Yum Yum Donuts $285 for the city's annual Haunted Trail event. Also authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate excess financial sponsorship revenue above the fiscal year 2026 adopted budget in the amount of $5,000 in the Community Relations Department budget.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This request to recognize and appropriate $5,000 in financial support received for the 2026 budget. In the $5,000 is requested to be recognized for following 4 sponsorships to the City of Dearborn's annual Haunted Trail event. Ford Motor Company with a $10,000 financial support, Mustang Fence with a $7,000 in-kind contribution, Kroger with a $520 in-kind contribution sponsorship, and Yum Yum Donuts, $285 with an in-kind contribution. We're going to have to look into that one there. and the rec department. $285, I expect that at the police department, but we'll see how it goes with those donuts, so. It's also requested the finance director be authorized to appropriate this $5,000 into the budget in the community relations department. Any questions or comments? We want to thank the generous support that we have from our community. It's what makes Dearborn what it is. A lot of people are willing to give. Any questions or comments? Okay, objection, unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 31, resolution by council members Hamud and Paris recognizing sponsorships received from Ford Motor Company, $30,000, Walmart, $20,000, DTE, $5,000, Bakery Coffee Roasters, $5,000, Mustang Fence, $1,000, Good to Glow, $200 for the city's new Wanderlights holiday event at Peace Park West. Also authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate financial sponsorship funds in the amount of $60,200 in the Community Relations Fiscal Year 2026 departmental budget.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is to recognize multiple sponsorships received for a new Wonder Lights holiday event. The Community Relations Department and Philanthropy and Grants Departments secured multiple sponsorships for the new events. Ford Motor Company, would like to thank them for a $30,000 financial support. Walmart for a $20,000 financial support. DTE for a $5,000 financial support. Buckery Coffee and Roasters for a $5,000 financial support. Mustang Fence for a $1,000 in-kind contribution support. And Good to Glow for a $200 financial support. The sponsorships and funding of the Wonder Lights allows for funding for a better experience for the participants and lowers the impact of governmental financial resources being used. We'd like to thank the sponsors very much. It's being requested that the $60,200 in financial sponsorships be received and recognized and appropriated for the 2026 budget. Councilman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. First of all, thank you for the previous item as well as this one to the generous sponsors. Of course, Ford Motor Company, it's wonderful to see how they're supporting so many things that we're doing here in the city recently. And then right on down to donuts, and then Good to Glow. They sell the light up things that you see sold at Homecoming and at Wanderlights. This is something that makes our events even more fun for our residents. We're able to do more because we're not tapping into general funds, taxpayer dollars to make these things happen. So thank you to those community partners. As Council President said, we can't thank them enough. I did have one thing I wanted to ask. In our summary and what you just read, Council President, it said $60,200. I believe it adds up to $61,200.
Uh-oh. All right, let's get somebody here from the grants department. We don't want to miss 800.
Unless one of it, oh, wait, I see why Mustang Fence was in kind. So did they donate fencing?
Yeah, in-kind contribution.
Where was the fencing that they donated, put up?
You gotta say your name and name for the
Maria
record.
Willett, Director of Philanthropy and Grants. It was just a small section of fencing that we asked them for, but they've been a great donor for both this Homecoming and a Haunted Trail. We love Brad. He's been great to us.
Longtime business owner here and has a great reputation here in Dearborn. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do appreciate that, Councilwoman, that you brought that forward. The in-kind contribution, it would have cost us probably much more than that to do these temporary fences. And Mustang Fence has been a long-time partner with Dearborn, so we do appreciate that. Although it says in-kind contribution, that's just the cost that it costs them to do the work. If we would have went out and asked them to do it, it could have been 3 times the amount. And then it's a temporary piece, so we do appreciate it. Just another comment, my colleagues were all here when the mayor brought forward this philanthropy and grants department, a person of one, and last count, I don't know, Mayor, over $135 million or more.
Well, if you
Mayor?
take into account ARC's kids brings down about $25 million per year for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's an additional $75 million to the original number. So you're probably
Yeah.
back to $200 million.
Over $200 million in grants, folks. And for me, yep, that's definitely. I have been saying for many, many years it's all of our money going up to the government. So whoever can get it back down to their city, that is a good thing. Very, very good thing. So we do appreciate the work. We know it's not easy. And I know we see the good ones passing. We know how much work you do that doesn't get through to the end, and that's okay. It's making a big impact for the city and the residents. So we do appreciate that. All right, any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item number 32, resolution by council members Herrick and Enos, authorizing the finance director to accept the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Firearm Injury Prevention Grant and recognize funding in the amount of $101,570 in the general fund, public health, intergovernmental revenues, state health and human services account, and appropriate the same in the general fund, public health, health and welfare, employee wellness programs, undistributed appropriations account. Also authorizing the finance director to sign the MDHHS contract on behalf of the city and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The City Department of Public Health, or DPH, is receiving $101,570 grant from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to advance firearm safety efforts across Michigan. This program is designed to promote responsible firearm ownership and to enhance public safety by encouraging the secure storage of firearms when not in use. Department of Public, DPH, along with the City of Dearborn Police Department, to prevent firearm accidents and reduce unintentional injuries through the community outreach and education of firearm safety, as well as distributing safety kits such as including gun locks and educational materials. We have our director here, Director Abazid. Would you like to speak on this?
Thank you, Council President. We like to bring in money on money. I think public health continues to be one of the best investments that we can make.
By far.
This is yet another example of that. Just want to tell a quick story. I've worked in government at different levels, and one of the dumbest ideas that government has overall is that you don't show people the sausage making. It's the idea that we do so much work behind the scenes. Don't tell people how that happens, because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. But I do want to tell just a quick story about this grant. Last September, I gave a talk at my alma mater, University of Michigan, and a professor approached me afterwards, Professor Justin Hines, and he said, I've been following what DPH is doing very closely. I've been working with the state of Michigan, and I think there's an opportunity for us to collaborate. Council President, I say this with humility, but we're a department that's highly sought after for partnerships, so I thought it was yet another conversation that's going to go nowhere. I get on a call with Justin a few weeks later, and he says, I think there's an opportunity for us to work together. I want to fully fund a fellow to come to your department this summer, so that was last summer, and I want that fellow to work on things related to injury prevention and violence prevention. And so Julia, who joined my department in May, was the person that Justin selected through a robust application process. Julia came to Dearborn. She did fantastic work. She sat in these chambers many times for the city council meetings, and she did a lot of wonderful events over the summer, working with our police department on safe storage laws, because Michigan passed a new law at the beginning of this year on how to safely store your firearms. Julie did amazing work under the leadership of Sarah, my public health advisor. And near the end of her fellowship, she came to me and said, there's this grant opportunity, and I have an idea for it. I want to work with Sarah to put it together. They put it together, working with the grants department, of course, working with the police department. 4 weeks later, we get notification that this grant was accepted, that we received it in the amount of $101,570. And I think it speaks to this partnerships we're creating, the fact that this fellowship program continues to be the thing that I'm most proud of, and this is the kind of fruit that it bears. So on behalf of Sarah and Julia, I'm really proud to accept this on behalf of the city.
We appreciate it, Director. I can tell you what I appreciate most about yourself, and you're absolutely right. I mean, from day one, you hit the ground running. And Mayor, I can't thank the Mayor enough. I think it's appropriate for the ending of the final meeting of the term, to look and say we're going to have a Department of Public Health, because right away we used to have one. People, well, where can I get my shot? That's not this department. This department is set in a stage to look at policies and things that they can help. The Narcan, the things that you have done, and the relationship I'm very, very pleased with is with your relationship with the council. You always reach out. We had several meetings when you first started. I don't know, 15 or 17 fellows you had that first time?
30.
30?
30 that first summer.
Yeah, 30. So I can't count very good, but 30 fellows. These relationships, Director Abazzi, that you've been able to cultivate have paid tremendous dividends to the residents, whether it's the air quality monitors and the relationships and the work plotting, designing, and finding out where the real issues is. Folks, government can do as little as they like or as much as they want, and these things, these granular things really come and help us with policy. So I can't thank you enough. The grants continue to come, but more importantly, the work is coming through, and the residents are seeing the difference. So I can't thank you enough. And Mayor, of course, this was in our transition, the Department of Health, and funded with one person, right, originally.
Yep.
And then 30 fellows right away with your relationship with the University of Michigan has been tremendous. They're getting great exposure, but we're getting a lot of free help. So I get, can never go wrong with that.
It's up to 130 now, Council President.
How many?
130 now. We've had
Wow.
130 fellows come through the
130
department.
fellows. And folks, these are the brightest of the brightest. I mean, these young people are tremendous. I mean, like I used to joke they wear the tennis shoes and stuff, but they're very, the mayor does wear tennis shoes.
So does the
too.
mayor.
Tennis shoes and shorts and in the suits. But I can tell you, what they brought for the residents is second to none. So I can't thank you enough. I can't wait to see what more keeps continuing to happen in the next term.
Yep.
Mayor?
We at least have unanimous support and bring it back on in January.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he's going to come forward for the reappointment. So, Ali, you've done a tremendous job. Tremendous job. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments on this? The objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 33, resolution by council members Hamud and Enos approving the 2025-2026 Local Officials Compensation Commission report in accordance with Public Act Number 8 of the Michigan Public Acts of 1972 and requesting immediate effect.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is the submittal of the 2025-2026 Local Officials Compensation Commission, or LOCC, report with immediate effect being requested. Any questions or comments on this item?
I'll make a comment.
Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you to the Local Officials Compensation Commission members for their due diligence in establishing these new salaries for our elected officials. They did numerous interviews, but they with current elected officials, but more importantly, they looked at statistics, statewide and nationwide statistics, human resources, evaluation materials, and what they found was that City of Dearborn elected official compensation was well under the state average and even the national average in a lot of cases. And we've been working, because this is a labor of love for us, for most of us. When we run for office, we're doing it because we believe we can make a difference in our city, or we can listen to others and help them in their lives in Dearborn. But people in other cities are doing the same. And if you just do a Google search about salaries of elected officials, you'll find that, a $21,000, $22,000 salary for a city council member in a city our size with the responsibilities that we have, we were making about $8,000 less than most of the others in our city in comparables. And so thank you to the LOCC for looking into this and having good justification for what we're voting on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, any objection to unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
No further items on tonight's agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Before I turn over to my colleagues, I had a few things I wanted to make sure I mentioned. We have our finance director here. I want to congratulate our finance team for another tremendous audit through our partners, Plant Moran, coming out with a unmodified opinion for people to understand that. When you call the auditors on the phone, usually you need a couple hours. Ours was like 10 minutes. They didn't have much to say. It's always a positive. I can't thank you, Director, enough. Director Kennedy, Corey, your team. I know it's not one, but when we get an unmodified opinion with no findings and a clean audit like this, it makes a big difference, folks. We are doing the best we can, and it shows when you have a third party coming out and doing that. And I know we could talk later in the future regarding how well we're doing in our funding for our retirees and their pensions. I say that I would stand by that. I challenge any other city in the state of Michigan that is more funded or in better position than we are. That's a lot of work, but we've been able to continue to do it, make sure we make good on our commitments. So I can't thank the director enough for that audit. I wanted to also congratulate Chief Shaheen. Not sure if he's still here, our police chief. Yep, still in, no problem. He was selected to serve as the next law enforcement co-chair for Metro Detroit Advocates and Leaders of Police Community Trust, which is ALPACT. I can't thank him enough. Our directors and our chiefs are being recognized throughout the state, That's only a testament to Mayor, yourself, your administration, and the council, and working together as a team, which is always better to have collaboration over chaos. That was one of my taglines. For me, I think it's a big deal that we are able to work together and get things done. And it's being recognized throughout the state, so I want to congratulate the chief as well. I want to make sure we mention the Goodfellows coming up here on Tuesday, the 16th, where they're going to be at Village Ford at 6 p.m. for gift packaging. And on the 17th, Wednesday, they will be doing their, again, at Village Ford Body Shop is where they take place. They were doing their gift delivery. Folks, the Goodfellows have done a tremendous job. It's not only the picture, you know, I mean, the work that they've done and the stuff that happens throughout our community to make sure that children that don't have the ability to have these gifts. I know many people, friends of mine at my age, that tell me they never will forget that box that they received during the holidays. So I can't thank the Goodfellows enough. This morning, I was able to make it to our police station real early, and Councilman El Swafi was coming in when I was going out, and seeing our Santa Claus and the Toys for Tots program. Folks, that's what makes a community. I can't thank them enough. Great participation again as well for that. Before I get to just a short holiday message, I must say a very sad goodbye to Mr. Romer, our corporation counsel. Mr. Romer started his career at about the same time as I did, the city of Dearborn, and his last day will be December 31st of this year. I can't thank him enough for his 12 years, his career that he's had. You know, folks, when you have a lawyer that can tell you, no, this is not the right way, and take your layman terms and give you the right way, I wish more of the departments would use the lawyer a little bit more. We'll get to that in budget. But Mr. Romer, you are a tremendous asset. I can't thank you enough for what you've done. I can't thank you enough for the amount of calls that I would call that you answer right away on the first ring. You know, it takes a lot to run a city, to have so many employees, handle budgeting, handle our negotiations and union contracts. I do not believe that we are going to be able to fill this void. I really, really do. I really do say that with all my heart. I can't thank you enough, Jeremy, for the work you've done. But I also recognize that, you know, you have to go on to bigger and better things. I know, you know, your children mean a lot to you. You know, the young children, and Mayor, you know, the young children mean a lot. I mean, these times can't come back. They go by really quick, folks. I mean, I don't have to tell someone most people know. So, Mr. Romer, it's been a tremendous honor and pleasure to work with you over the 12 years. And you know how I feel. There's been many times in closed meetings that I would say, that's how you're supposed to brief a case. You know, folks, when we get these settlements, it's not by mistake. It's because we have real lawyers that just don't say, well, we're the city, we'll pay out. They work these cases. They understand that money is taxpayer money, and it makes our job much, much easier. So, Mr. Romer, congratulations on your retirement from the city government aspect. I know you're still going to be a call away, and I can't thank you enough, Jeremy. I really, really can't thank you enough. Mayor, did you want to add something to that? I see your mic's on.
I'll add when it's my time.
All right, you'll add when your time. Yeah, absolutely. So, Mr. Romer, again, thank you. And if you'd like to say something at the end, we'll definitely accommodate. And just for the residents, I mean, for me, the Christmas time, the happy holidays, tremendous time of the year. Those that are celebrating or not, we do appreciate and want to make sure that they have a great Christmas season, Happy New Year and holidays. These times are very important to many residents. Not only the religious aspect, if it's not a religious aspect, the fact that you get to look back at the year and look at your accomplishments. A lot of our children coming back from college, coming together, staying in the house again. It's a great, great time. And for me, it's always been a time to reflect on where have you started, where have you been, and where you're at. So I can't stress enough the time that we have to spend with each other. As so many have seen throughout the world, throughout the country, your time is very short. You don't know how long it's going to be, don't know when it's going to happen. So embrace your loved ones. I mean, it's a great, great time. I got my wife was a little worried about getting up on the ladder for the tree. We have, I think it's 12 or 14 feet. It's the tallest one I could ever find at Costco's years ago. And my three grandchildren, the newest one, but the two youngest, go crazy when they see it. And she was actually contemplating whether she should just put up half of it. I said, we're getting that ladder out. You know, those big ladders, the safety ladders, you have to get out to put those things up. This is what it's about, folks. When you have your family around you, you know, you're not taking anything with you when we leave this earth. And these times put a good reflection on where you come, where you've been, and what it takes to be here, right? I mean, we all do this, as the councilwoman had indicated regarding the LOCC. It's not for the money. I guarantee you that. This is our way to give back. And everybody has to give a little bit back so we can keep our community going in the right way. I'm very, very, very proud of the work that we have done over these last 4 years. And I can tell you that it means a lot, and you can see it flourish throughout the community. I do want to recognize a small thing regarding social media for a couple, chief, of your officers. At one of our events, the officer said to me, a young lady said to me, you know, I can't believe this. We go around and the residents are just so happy to see us. They support us so much, but I don't feel that way when I go online. So I'm going to tell them so they can understand. And I said, look, I love the social media. I love the fact that everybody has a platform to say and do what they want, but that is the super minority. I told the officer, you are loved and respected in the community of the city of Dearborn. And she was actually shocked. She was like, everywhere I go, when I have face-to-face interactions, is great, but I go online and, you know, we have these negative aspects. Folks, with everything in life, you're going to have goods and bads. The internet far outweighs the negatives. But it takes a real person to file a petition, put their family at risk, run for office, come to work, help get the city going in the right direction, and I'm very, very proud of that. You know, as many residents know, I mean, my mom was first elected in 19 and ran in 85 and lost, and won in 1989, my senior year. So for me, this is a way that I could give back, and I think it's a tremendous honor. And those that don't feel that they could do things, I encourage people to get involved, try to help your community, try to get involved, and see where it leads you. But it is not easy. It's not for everybody. But I am very proud of those last 4 years, and I want to just make sure that everybody has a great holiday and New Year's and Christmas time. Enjoy your New Year's, and stay warm. It's getting colder and colder every day. So that's all I have for myself. I know the council has some things. Anybody from Councilwoman Herrick?
Thank you, Council President. I was remiss earlier when I forgot to specifically thank CDTV. Because over the years, they do so much community programming that's available. You can call it up on the internet off the city's website. There's a link. So now there's a YouTube channel. Before it was a broadcast a different way. But CDTV, it has so many talented, hardworking, well, it's a very small crew of staff that bring these programs for, you know, online or live tonight if you're watching on cable television or through your website, through the website. Thank you, CDTV, for everything that you do. Especially the video that you did earlier for me. It did make me cry. And I know that there were a lot of hands that worked on that, pulling those photos together. But it's just one example of the things that CDTV does to make all of us look good, bring our messages out to the public. Council in the Communities, our program, our television show that we each get a little segment that we can highlight something that's happening in the city or a city department. So thank you, CDTV. I also wanted to point out a couple of things. The partnerships at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center with our arts organizations are phenomenal. So I think the Recreation Department, Sean Fletcher, and the folks in the Recreation Department in the theater end of the building Lots going on all year long, but especially during the holidays. The Nutcracker was this past weekend. The music was performed by our own Dearborn Symphony Orchestra and local ballet dancers, dancing. Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah, you did. You did good. You got it.
That'd be a different version of Nutcracker. So check out what's happening at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center and at the Players Guild of Dearborn, right here in our own town. We have so much talent throughout the holidays and all year long. But today I want to call special attention to one group that I haven't talked about before at these meetings. It's the Dearborn Community Concert Band, and it's directed by Jeff Oshnock, who retired from Dearborn High School a few years ago, beloved instructor in the music department there, and he has continued giving to our city in directing the concert band. The performers in the band are all local. Some of them are former students of Osh's. Others are friends of friends, that kind of thing. But they have a holiday performance that's completely free if you want to go and hear wonderful holiday music on December 17th at 7 p.m. In the Ford Community Performing Arts Michael A. Guido Theater. So just wanted to give them a shout out. And of course, all the other wonderful things coming up in the coming weeks from the city. Maybe the mayor will touch on some of those things. But lots going on at Peace Park West, Peace Park East. You can see the sculptures that are still out there. The ice sculptures, it's been cold enough that since last Friday, I'm sure that they're still looking pretty much the way that they did when they were put on display last Friday. But thank you, Dearborn, for having such a wonderful variety, robust arts programming, and I look forward to continuing to support that, and I'll be watching. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other of my colleagues? Councilman Abraham.
Thank you, Council President. I too will just want to wish everybody a safe and joyful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, as we wrap up this year, not only this year, but this term of office. I want to thank my colleagues too for a wonderful 4 years of accomplishments. We can all agree that we don't always agree, but I think this council has really responded well to the community and always act in a very professional and dignified manner. And if you look around other communities, you don't always see that, so we shouldn't take that for granted. I wanted to personally thank Council President on this last term for really elevating the council and the discipline and dignity to a very high standard. I think that other communities can look to as a new standard to how to operate and run not only meetings, but a group of people that have a lot of work to do. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Jeremy Romer, our Corporation Counsel, for his years of service. I could tell you that over the last 6 terms of office for me, I've worked with a lot of appointed officials in the city. I could say I don't think Jeremy ever saw his phone ring with my name and didn't pick it up. He's always available. He always has the answers and is willing to get them if he doesn't, and is always very responsive. And he's always acted, again, in a very professional fashion that represents not only the administration and the council, but also the whole Dearborn community. Even though he doesn't live here, he's definitely a pillar of our community, and I think I'm going to miss you a lot, and I'm sad to see you go, but I'm with mixed emotions. I'm happy that you're making a life-changing decision that I think you'll be happy with in the long run. So, and last but not least, for Mayor Hammoud, 4 years in the books. I told you when you started, enjoy every minute of it because it's going to go by fast and you'll be running for re-election before you know it. And I think tonight you probably look back and say, where did the 4 years go? But I think for most of us up here, we're fortunate enough to have another 4 years representing the city and making progress in the community so that we can all reach our goal of making Dearborn the best place to live and work in the world. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other of my colleagues? Councilman Hamud?
So, not to repeat what Bob said, but agree with everything you said. There's two things. One, I do want to highlight, I think we kind of skimmed over it, but I think the Parks Master Plan is going to be something that is unbelievably accessible, and especially, I did notice that it said that we approved it tonight in the writing that was in the booklet, so clever move there. But I hope that people get a chance to look at it, because it does encompass a lot of the things that 4 years ago, when we were sitting around plotting about how we were going to do the Peace Parks, I remember saying, well, what about our existing parks? And I think this is kind of the type of document that I was looking for, as far as the future decade almost worth of parks and park inventories, and really highlights a lot of the work that we've done in the last 4 years to update the parks with all the ARPA money that we had, and kind of laying out the future of where we see them going. And that kind of brings me into my next point, which is I do want to recognize kind of, what I'm reflecting today on how I felt when we first walked into this building versus how I feel walking out at the last meeting of our term. And I think it's just an unbelievable difference, honestly. And I think residents can feel it. I think that's why we had overwhelming participation and re-election for the incumbents, and not even a challenge in a primary. I think everybody feels that the city is rowing in the same direction. I think we have an unbelievable team, even though I am as well extremely disappointed that we're losing our Corp Counsel, who has been a fierce defender of the city, both in his capacity as an attorney for us, but also personally. I think people underestimate how many attacks get levied against him simply by sitting right over there. So, I think it's important to recognize all the work that the staff has done, making us all look good for the past 4 years. And I actually have pulled up here a spreadsheet. Sorry, Mayor. But when we first walked in, I remember I sat down with Council President Serini, and this is to give you credit as well, so don't worry, Mike.
Okay.
And
You're going to
we
be
had,
over here next year.
Yeah.
You're going to be right over here.
But
January.
I want to talk about the beginning of this
Closer.
term. We had 18 major legislative items and kind of quality of life improvements, and I'm not going to read them all, but we got every single thing done. We actually just finished the last one tonight. Priority number 2 on the list was actually the historic ordinance, and we managed to finish it in the last hour of our
It's not
of our
by
term.
mistake there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know if I think a lot of them are gone, but so they won't hear this. But it was right after the water drainage investigation. That was priority number 1 when we
Right.
first got in.
Right.
So you know what? I think I always was paranoid about government actually accomplishing things, just generally, and it takes forever and it's slow. But even with that slowness, and even with all of the politics, and even with all the hearings and work, and trying to get 7 people along with the mayor to all agree on a direction to move forward, again, going back to the professionalism and kind of the open-mindedness and the rowing in the same direction, I think it's genuinely unbelievable to me sitting here and looking at this list that we actually got everything done.
Yeah.
So, I really want to thank all my colleagues as well. I mean, I know you guys weren't looking at the same sheets I was looking at, but we really got a lot done this term. So thank you guys so much. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Absolutely. Anyone else from the colleagues? All right. We'll now move to the mayor, administration. Mayor?
Thank you. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with like a short, serious statement, and then kind of go into the less serious. But I'd be beating myself up if I didn't say anything. In the opening public comment section, there's an individual that came to the podium who I don't believe is a resident, and he made some very inappropriate and hateful comments, and it targeted the entire faith, members of the Jewish community who are our sisters and brothers living here in the city of Dearborn and beyond. And I think we have to make it clear that we stand firmly with them and against any form of anti-Semitism, against anybody who shares to express anti-Muslim bigotry or anti-Christian bigotry or racism and bigotry in all of its forms, that this is a city that welcomes all regardless of the direction in which they pray or if they don't pray at all. That's what Dearborn stands for. It's a community that stands as united and firm in those principles. And I wanted to be sure that we called it out. And I never like to respond when a person comes up. And so try to take a step back and collect my thoughts. So really just wanted to make that statement to start. So moving past that, Jeremy Romer, you know, I have to comment. I have to comment. You know, me and Jeremy have had many a backs and forths, and it's always about where is the legal limit? You know, and a good attorney walks you up to the edge and stops you right there in order for you to push forth as far as you can and trying to make progress. And let me tell you this, when I first got elected to office, I had so many calls and folks reaching out about who would be corp counsel, who would be your chief labor negotiator. And when I first sat down with Jeremy Romer, I did not know him. He was the deputy at the time. He had longer hair, a little bit swaggier than it is now. We were enjoying a meal, and the entirety of that conversation, Jeremy was talking about how he was ready to stay deputy to help me find the right corp counsel. But a conversation that was supposed to last 30 minutes, I think went almost 2 hours. And I walked out of that meeting, I called Zainab Hussein, our chief of staff, and I said, I found our corp counsel. We don't have to look any further. And it's because of, I don't think you understand just how dynamic you are, how intelligent you are, how professional you are. I don't think I've ever seen you. You come to the staff parties in a suit and tie, the summer barbecues with your family where your children might be swimming, you come in a suit and tie. And it just speaks to your demeanor and who you are and how you hold yourself and the level of excellence that you expect from not only your team members, for everybody around you. And you're that individual that really pushes folks towards excellence. And you don't find that in everyday people. And so it's one of the best hires this city has ever made. I was blessed to keep you on as bring you up at Corp Counsel, and blessed to just know you as an individual. We've both brought in children during this term. I beat you by one, I think. Hopefully, more to come in the future. That's another conversation. But this is an individual that didn't even want to take time off, where I had to Facebook message his wife and let her know that we now have a parental leave policy.
Yep.
And that her husband qualified for it because he did not tell her that it existed after he negotiated it. And so, yeah, there's so much to say, but I am blessed to have sat beside you for these many years. Congratulations on the next chapter, and know that we will still be bothering you time and time again. I mean that with all my heart. When we came in 4 years ago, there was so much noise coming into office, you know, about what it meant for Abdullah Hamoud to come into office, what it meant for this council. And I always said, you know, it was never about any component of identity. It was about laying out what was best for the city. And I like to think that we pushed out in as quickly as possible fashion that a government can, moving through the bureaucratic red tape, really making transformative changes across the city, changes that every resident in every corner of the city can hopefully point towards and feel. And what I was most proud of, honestly, in all the accomplishments, on election day, it wasn't about the vote tallies for any of us. It was the fact that 4 years ago, when it was an open seat, we had record turnout. About 34%, 35% for a local election, which is, you know, we still got to work on that, but relatively speaking, still high. On a re-election, you almost never get as high turnout. We beat the turnout from 4 years ago.
Yep.
And in fact, the city of Dearborn had one of the highest turnouts in the state of Michigan.
That's right.
We had the highest turnout for any city, I think, with more than 20,000 people living in it.
Yep.
Sterling Heights, Lansing, 18 to 20% turnout. Detroit celebrated 22% turnout. Dearborn Heights, 18% turnout. The closest, I think, was Hamtramck, close to 30% turnout. That was an open seat. We were almost to 36% turnout. And one of our staples in our strategic plan was to increase civic engagement. And I believe that when you do good, when people see good, then they want to be a part of the good. And hopefully that's what draws them out to the ballot box to cast their vote, to participate. Because this doesn't work if there's no co-governance side by side with the people who reside in the city. And so that to me was the greatest accomplishment of the 4 years. One day I'll think about putting up my picture there, Dennis. But we're not done yet. It kind of feels like the All That show, if you grew up with that. Keenan and Kel come out on stage at the end. Keenan tells them what he wants them to bring out for the next episode. We're almost, it's Keenan and Kel and All That, it's both of them. But Merry Christmas to all of our residents who are celebrating. I wish everybody a Happy New Year, wishing you a joyful time with loved ones, with family and friends, wishing you the greatest of health, which is the most important. Hope you spend some time with family. I am trying to cherish that as much as I can during these days. I'm thankful for all of this council, for our agreements, our disagreements, for the growth that I think that we've all experienced. And I can't wait to share with you what the 4 years ahead, God willing, if we have those full 4 years, what they will look like. And I can't wait to share with the city of Dearborn residents what we have in store for them. So congratulations to all on a great term, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, anything from your department?
You know, my Christmas greeting is not going to be quite as long, but I think maybe just as important, and that is I'd like to thank the people, and the mayor had mentioned about the last election, the people that really work behind the scenes, that make sure that things come out right at the end of the night. We may not get it as quickly as we hope, and we'll be working on that. But from the deputy to the election supervisor to everybody that works the elections and really put their heart and soul into their job. They get trained very little. They get trained 2.5, 3 hours and are expected to go out and work a 15, 16, sometimes an 18-hour day to make sure that people have the opportunity to vote and make sure that that vote counts. And they sometimes don't get enough recognition for that. And maybe they don't even get enough recognition from me on that. But I want to publicly thank everyone that made our elections successful, as we have every year. Before I was clerk, and hopefully after I'm clerk, the elections will always run smooth, and Dearborn has been known for that. I was just at a conference with about 170 clerks up north, and we all got together and we say to ourselves, nobody understands us except for us, right? Because we're there every day, we see it, and a lot of other people don't see it. But we were able to congratulate ourselves and work on things that we all have to do to improve, and we're always working to improve. I think my staff would be the first to say we want to make improvements, we want to do a better job. But working with the crew that I have has been so rewarding for me, especially these past 4 years. I've been the clerk now for 8, but these past 4 years, because we've had different people going in and out of those positions for deputy and election supervisor. But I'm very, very happy with the staff that we have and the people that work, the 300 plus people that we have to hire to make sure that the elections go as well as they do. So my thanks to them, and my Christmas wish to them is to keep on, and hopefully you'll come back and work with us more. We need you. You're the front lines of democracy, and it's very, very important. And I'm just grateful to God that He gave me these people to work with. And so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, we are entering our final public comment section. And if there's anyone here to address, I don't have any Karen, no cards. Anyone here to address the council regarding city business, you can just be recognized, and you will have a 3-minute time limit. All right. Hey. Thank you, everybody. Have a great holiday season. A motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn by Councilman Herrick. We are adjourned.